at the checklist. It's a condition. They don't just report any figure to the agents and endorsed by the presiding officers before they transmit the information to us. And then we also call back to verify and be sure that whatever they have recorded is the exact figure they are reporting to us. So we go through a whole lot of process before we come to this point. Thank you.
Sir, good morning. My name is Salom Bobiji. I work with a Finder newspaper. My question is a bit tangential, but I'll ask nonetheless. You talked about organizing a stakeholder review to presumably make some recommendations to the EC. Yesterday, the European Union Election Observer Mission said that in the last election, 2016, they had made some 20 recommendations, out of which about 5 had been partly implemented. Can you tell us how many recommendations you made in the last election and how much of those recommendations were implemented and how those have impacted on the conduct of the 2020 election? Thank you.
Well, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to tell you offhand how many recommendations we made, but for me, the important thing is that actually we did a post-election review workshops with all stakeholders, and out of which lessons could come out for us to. I mean, one of the things that we did that has to do with rejected ballots, for example, is one of the things that we did some research in order to understand why the trend is so that we could assist in advising what can be done to reduce the occurrence of the rejected ballots. So this time too, similar to will be done, and we'll look at some of the challenges, including some of even the conflicts that are coming up, and understand them very well and see what recommendations we could make to the EC or to other, including security matters, if we could make recommendations to ensure that we can have an election without necessarily having somebody to lose his life. All right. Do I assume that there's no more question? Okay, then we can thank you for coming.
All right, so those were parts of that presentation from the CODEO, and during the question and answer segment, that's what we brought you. They did what they call verification of the presidential election results using the parallel vote tabulation to verify the accuracy of the results that the Electoral Commission, led by the chairperson, Jean Mensah, presented yesterday on the 2020 presidential election. We can now bring you the presentation of the findings made by the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers. All right, we'll get that for you shortly. This is the Election Bureau, Citi FM 97.3 and Citi TV. We know that CODEO, the election observers, deployed over 1,000 observers throughout the country for this year's presidential and parliamentary elections. And within the day on December 7, they brought preliminary findings on what they had observed. Of course, a number of incidents, and we heard during the question and answer part where the acting co-chair said that the incidents that were recorded did not really influence the final outcome of the election. So we will get ready and bring you what they actually found, whether they've been able to verify the results of the Electoral Commission. But first, let's take a listen and watch back the declaration of the 2020 presidential election results by Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah.
The total number of valid votes cast was 13,434,574, representing 79% of the total registered voters. Permit me to present the results in the order of appearance on the 2020 presidential ballot. At the end of the polls, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party obtained 6,730,413 votes, being 51.595% of the total valid votes cast. John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress obtained 6,214,889 votes, being 47.366% of the total valid votes cast. Christian Pabna Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement obtained 105,565 votes, being 0.805% of the total valid votes cast. Iva Kobna Greenstreet of the Convention's People's Party obtained 12,215 votes, being 0.093% of the total valid votes cast. Madam Ekuya Donko of the Ghana Freedom Party obtained 5,575 votes, being 0.042% of the total valid votes cast. Henry Herbert Latte of the Great Consolidated Popular Party obtained 3,574, being 0.027% of the total valid votes cast. Hassan Ayariga of the All People's Party obtained 7,140, being 0.054% of the total valid votes cast. Percival Kofi Apalu of the Liberal Party of Ghana obtained 7,690 votes, being 0.059% of the total valid votes cast. David Asibi Akesara of the People's National Convention obtained 10,887, being 0.083% of the total valid votes cast. Bridget Akosua Jigbonuku of the Progressive People's Party obtained 6,848 votes, being 0.052% of the total valid votes cast. Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings of the National Democratic Party obtained 6,612 votes, being 0.050% of the total valid votes cast. Alfred Kwame Isiedu Walker, independent candidate, obtained 9,703 votes, being 0.074% of the total valid votes cast. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, currently the election results we have declared exclude that of the Techiman South constituency, which has a total voter population of 128,018. 128,018. The said election results are not ready because they are being contested. As such, collation has not been completed. It is important to note, however, that the difference between the total number of votes between the first and second candidates is 515,524 votes. As a result, if we were to add the 128,000 and 18 full results to the results of the second candidate, it will not change the outcome of the election. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Indeed, if you were to add the entire results or collate all the results from the Techiman South constituency and add that to the percentage and the votes of the second candidate, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, he would obtain 47.873% of the total votes cast. And Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo would obtain 50.8% of the total votes cast. It is on that basis that we say that the outcome of the election would not change. Hence our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of the foregoing election results, and by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and the returning officer of the presidential election, it is my duty and honor to declare Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as President-elect of the Republic of Ghana. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Let peace.
So that's the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, announcing the winner of the 2020 presidential election on Wednesday. Well, today, as I mentioned earlier, CODEO, that's the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, they've presented their findings, trying to ascertain and verify the results which were presented by the chairperson, its accuracy as a matter of fact. And so we can bring you the presentation by CODEO now.
Little acknowledgements. We have been joined here by Sharon Cromer, who is the USA Director. Probably show by hand and let's see you. Please, a round of applause for her. We have Philip Smith, Deputy Director. Good, thank you. And then we have my very good friend, Dr. Chris Famunyo from NDI. Very good. Probably it will also be appropriate to also introduce the members of the advisory board who are here to lend support, as usual. We have Mrs. Elizabeth Villas, and then Mr. Frank Beecham, here. Mrs. Daphne Nabila, good. Ambassador Francis Chega is with us here. Reverend Dr. Fred Degbe, very good. And then we have Mrs. Susanna Sechery, very good. We have our CODEO coordinator, Mr. Albert Ahin, who has been doing a great job for us. On Sunday, December 6th, 2020, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, in its press statement, communicated to the nation its intention to once again employ the parallel voter tabulation methodology to observe the 2020 presidential election, just as it did in 2008, 2012, and 2016. The PVT methodology is a reliable tool available to independent and nonpartisan citizens election observer groups around the world for verifying the accuracy of official presidential election results. In keeping with our protocols, which is that CODEO releases its PVT findings after the official results have been announced by the Electoral Commission, CODEO is here to release its PVT estimates for the presidential election. CODEO's PVT estimates for the presidential results form part of its comprehensive election observation activities for the 2020 elections that covered voter registration exercise, pre-election environment observation for 3 months, that is September to November, and election day observation. The PVT is an advanced and scientific election observation technique that combines well-established statistical principles and information communication technology, ICT, to observe elections. The PVT involves deploying trained accredited observers to a nationally representative random sample of polling stations. On election day, PVT observers observe the entire polling process and transmit reports about the conduct of the polls and official vote count in real time to a central election observation database using the short message service platform. The PVT technique has been deployed successfully around the world to promote electoral integrity and help defend the rights of citizens to vote and to protect such rights when exercised. The first PVT was conducted in the Philippines in 1986. Since then, the methodology has been employed in election observation in Bulgaria, Chile, Croatia, Guyana, Albania, Bangladesh, Belarus, Indonesia, Georgia, Macedonia, Slovakia, Montenegro, Nicaragua, Panama, Peru, and Ukraine. In Africa, the methodology has been deployed successfully in Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, Uganda, Burundi, Sierra Leone, Zambia, Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, and Tunisia. Unlike pre-election surveys which track voter intentions or exit polls which track voter recollections, the PVT is based on the actual behavior of electorates in an election. In other words, PVT observers do not speak to voters about the choices they made at the polls to produce the outcome of an election. Rather, after observing the entire voting and counting process, PVT observers record the official vote count as announced by election officials at polling stations and rapidly transmit this information to an observation center via coded text message. Consequently, the PVT data is collected directly from the polling stations. CODEO applied the PVT methodology for the first time in its election observation work in the year 2008 and has since used it in all subsequent presidential elections, including the current one. I mean, we have used it in 2012, 2016, and the current one, 2020. As presented in the tables 1 to 3, I mean, that will be shared with you. CODEO's previous PVT estimates of the presidential election results have been consistent with the official results announced by the EC in 2008, 2012, and 2016. The tables are within the appendix, which I'm sure will also be shared to you. Similarly, CODEO's PVT voter turnout and rejected ballot rate in the previous elections have also been consistent with the figures announced by the EC. For this year's case, by midnight of December 7, 2020, CODEO had received data of vote count from its 1,502 PVT observers who were deployed to a nationally representative random sample of polling stations located in every region and constituency of the country. CODEO, at this point, can confidently verify the outcomes of the presidential election results as announced by the EC. The findings presented in this statement are based on data received from all the 1,502 PVT polling stations across the 275 constituencies in the 16 regions of the country. The data was thoroughly checked for accuracy, internal consistency, and indeed integrity. The tables will also be shared with you. In general, each candidate's official results closely match the PVT estimates and falls within the estimated confidence of 95% range and the associated margin of error. Also, the PVT ranking of the presidential candidates based on their share of the valid votes received is largely similar to what was put out by the EC. I just give you maybe two examples. If you take the result that was provided by the EC, the presidential one, the EC official results gave the president-elect 51.302%, and our PVT estimate also put it at 50.98%, and so therefore there is some certain closeness in the figure. If you take that of the former president, John Dramani Mahama, that's NDC, the official EC results stood at 47.359%, and that of our estimate stood at 47.66%. And the rest can be found on the table as we shall make available to you. Aside the fact that the PVT estimates of candidates' vote share received generally match the EC's official results, the PVT estimated rejected ballots of 2.25% with a margin of error of plus minus 11% is also consistent with the EC's figure of 2.33%. The official voter turnout rate of 79% announced by the EC is slightly outside the PVT voter turnout confidence rate range based on the estimated turnout rate of 79.69% and the margin of error percent and the margin of error of plus minus 46%. The table will also be provided for you to see. It is worth noting, however, that this could be due to exclusion of the outstanding results from Techiman South constituency with a total number of 128,018 registered voters. To conclude, given that the official results announced by the Electoral Commission for each candidate falls within their respective PVT estimates confidence range, CODEO can confidently confirm that its PVT estimates are consistent with the official presidential election results. Not only do CODEO's PVT estimates match the official results of the EC, but our observers also reported that the two main parties, NDC and MPP, had party agents at over 99% of polling stations, and that both NDC and MPP party agents also signed the official declaration of polls and were given copies of those documents. Further, evidence from CODEO's PVT observers show that on December 7, 2020, voting and counting were conducted as per relevant electoral laws with no significant incidents related to the voting process. You remember we made this clear to you in our CODEO preliminary statement. In that statement, CODEO noted that the arrangement put in place by the Electoral Commission from setup, voting, to counting of ballots at polling stations were generally adequate and credible. In that statement, CODEO also projected a voter turnout and rejected ballot rates of approximately 80% and 2% respectively, which has been reconfirmed in today's statement of CODEO PVT estimates on the presidential results. Indeed, the Electoral Commission's official voter turnout and rejected ballot rates are largely consistent with the PVT projections. CODEO's pre-election environment observation reports also noted a generally peaceful electoral environment with political parties focusing their campaigns on policy and development issues, with the exception of few incidents of use of abusive or inflammatory language recorded. Thus, Kodeyo's pre-election and election day observation reports, as well as our PVT data, should give Ghanaians confidence that the results declared by the Electoral Commission reflects how Ghanaians voted in the December 7 presidential polls. Accordingly, Kodeyo advises the contestants in the presidential elections, their supporters, and general public to place confidence in the official presidential results as declared by the Electoral Commission. We encourage any party or candidate with issues about the presidential results to peacefully resolve these through proper legal and procedural channels. Kodeyo appeals to Ghanaians to remain calm, law-abiding, and allow the system to work. Kodeyo further commends the maturity shown by Ghanaians throughout the voting, counting, and collating processes. Kodeyo deeply regrets the isolated cases of violence at some polling stations and constituency collation centers, which led to the loss of lives. Kodeyo expresses its condolences to the bereaved families and wishes the injured citizens speedy recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, please be assured that Kodeyo's comprehensive election observation activities are not yet over. Kodeyo will continue to observe the post-election environment and also organize a stakeholder review sessions to draw lessons from the just concluded 2020 elections to inform arrangements for future elections. On behalf of the Advisory Board of Kodeyo and all its member organizations, we would like to thank the thousands of Ghanaians across the country that volunteered to serve as non-partisan election observers, and the technical team who worked tirelessly to protect the integrity of the December 7, 2020 polls. Kodeyo also commends the security agencies for their professionalism in maintaining peace during the voting, counting, and collation of results. The coalition acknowledges and commends other stakeholders, including other local and international observer groups and the entire population, for the high sense of comportment during the period of the elections. Kodeyo would also like to acknowledge the generous support of the American people through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. The coalition further acknowledges the additional support of the Star Ghana Foundation with funding from the UK Aid and the European Union. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you so much. We will now be ready to take some of your questions. Let me remind you that this aspect of the
All right, so that was the acting co-chair of Kodeyo, Sheikh Arimi Al-Shai, with the findings of Kodeyo's PVT tabulation of the 2020 presidential election results. Basically, they tell us that this mode has been used since the 2008 elections to verify the accuracy of presidential election results, 2008, 2012, 2016, and over that period, the results have been consistent with that of the Electoral Commission, and they have verified the accuracy of those results. And this year, it's no difference, because per their findings, they say that the people of Ghana should know and trust that the results presented by the Electoral Commission is a true reflection of Ghanaians who voted on December 7. And they also spoke about how the issues being raised by the opposition party, NDC, they say that they should use the appropriate channel to air their grievances in a peaceful manner to maintain the peace in the country even after the elections. They also spoke about how the campaign in the lead up to this year's elections have been issue-based, among other things. So this is the findings of Kodeyo's report on the 2020 presidential election in verifying the accuracy of what the Electoral Commission chairperson, Madam Jean Mensah, presented on Wednesday. This is the Election Bureau on 97.3 Citi FM and Citi TV. My name is Abna Nyamiche Ampedu, still here with you, presenting to you what we know so far about the 2020 general elections, presidential and parliamentary. We'll take a break. When we return, Kojo Akoto Boateng and Bernard Avler will be back on the dashboard. They are going to present to you what we have so far with the results and the data, presidential and parliamentary polls, with a graphical representation and also from a statistical perspective. Do stay with us.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. Citi TV, it's your world.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, at some point, well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yeah. So we saw it. But they held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan, there's a proverb.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member or died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was application, So I just took it when I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me? I was like, Charlie, I've never touched. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoke, no way. No.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning, and he has been tortured and whatnot, and they have come for medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them, even though they are very close relatives. So I look at Kojo, I examine him, and notice that he's definitely been tortured. And, there was blood, deep-seated blood in the ears. We can see that clearly.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on Citi TV.
Footprint is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
Comprehensive news. The Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. on Citi TV is your most engaging news bulletin on TV.
It's a very oh, that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay.
Telling your stories better with correspondence covering every corner of the country.
Getting access to potable water is a daily struggle for residents of Kakichekopi and Balekopi communities in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region.
Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. Very fluent with issues that concern you.
This is quite a cover on Mr. Rabbi. Someone is in a bread. It told you kind of a child 1 week. What do you say?
Is it unfair? What all this? What all this? We are dying! We are dying! We are dying for Choco!
With Citi Newsroom, your community is now connected.
In this our community, all of us we are very sorry about this school. If we went to see the children, they are so small. Even my grandchildren are there. My grands outside there. If they come out from the school, how would this?
Every day at 8 p.m., Citi Newsroom is live on Citi TV.
I'm Bismarck from Accra. I've been dating this girl for about 4 years now, and we really love each other and want to spend the rest of our lives together. Problem now is that she went to church and the pastor asked her if she's in a relationship with a man, if she's in a relationship and a man should come and ask for her hand in marriage, will she go ahead to marry the guy, or will she choose to stay in her current relationship? She said she replied that she will choose the marriage proposal. After her answer, the pastor told her that if she is indeed in a relationship, she should advise herself. Here lies the case. We both don't want to lose each other. But with what the pastor said, my girlfriend said she's very confused, doesn't know what to do, and she doesn't want to lose me either. I felt so heartbroken after she told me this. I'm confused too. What should I or we do? We need your advice.
She's ready to marry a complete stranger, and for me, that's worrying.
I feel like she's trying to force this guy's hand. I don't understand why anybody's confused. There's nothing to be confused about.
When you're with a guy for that long, like they're saying, definitely at the back of her mind, as long as there's no ring, she doesn't value the relationship.
Sister is proudly sponsored by Vodafone. The future is exciting, ready and secure. You decide.
Representing a country is no small feat. How have you managed trying to learn all the different nuances of all the different cultures in the Ghanaian culture?
Well, it's something I wish I could have done more. I wish I could do more on. Clearly, pick up kind of various kind of tree phrases, not least the easiest one of which is multi-brothel.
View the lives of the diplomats in Ghana through their very own eyes and see how they make Ghana their home.
I have had a very good tour of duty in Ghana. Ghanaian people are wonderful people, very warm and humble
my first exam in Arabic, I didn't do too well.
Okay.
And I had to organize in myself and ask myself, do I actually want to continue this? And is there a possibility that there are likelihood that I may not do too well in the language?
This is the Carnival of Montevideo, where they play a music which is called candombe, and candombe is played on these tall drums that you see here, and it's totally African. And you see the people are black.
And they're even dressed like people from maybe the northern parts. They're holding their drums like some Ghanaian drummers would do.
Exactly.
First time I went to the Black Star Square. It's very, has a lot of energy there.
Join me, Apioko, on Diplomatic License every Saturday at 5 p.m. only on Citi TV.
Do you want to lose weight, get in shape, or simply just stay fit? Then workout is the show for you.
4, and then I change. All right, we are massaging the hamstring. All right, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. I push. 1, good. 2, 3, 4. By the count of 3, hold it from here. Viewers, hold your bottles. We are ready to tone our arms. Are you ready?
Join us and let's stay fit on Workout, showing this on every Saturday and Sunday at 5:30 a.m. only on Citi TV. Citi TV, it's your world.
Election Bureau, we're live on 97.3 Citi FM, and we're also live on Citi TV. My name is Bernard Avle. It's been 3 days since we voted, and we are getting close to the end of this whole matter. We've come back to our good friend, the dashboard. My name is Bernard Avle. I'm here with
Kujo Boateng.
And our job today is to put everything in perspective for you. We want you to know what we know so far, where we are with presidential. Of course, the results have been declared for presidential. Parliamentary picture will be made more clear to you. We'll also let you know what it means. So there's a few things to know. A lot of people know what happens, but not everybody understands what it means. So what we'll try and do is 2 things today. We'll tell you what has happened so far in presidential, what has happened so far in parliamentary, and what does it mean. What does it mean how does it compare to the past, and where does it leave us? Kojo, it's good to have you.
Good to have you too, Bernard. And for those listening to us on radio who don't have the opportunity to watch on TV, go to citinewsroom.com. citinewsroom.com. A lot of these charts are there, the summary charts. So when you hear us say something, you can also refer and follow the graphics and follow us as we have the conversation.
A lot of people have been commending you for the ease with which you display these beautiful charts. And before we even start, I just wanted to walk through it for people to know, what system did you use and who are the people responsible for this? Because there's so many people asking, your charts are easy to follow, they are pretty flexible. Who did it? What is it?
It was actually a big team effort. People like Jonas Nyabo, Ranstina, Yankee, Davina, Ajin, Mauli Chikata, David Corte, Susu Graham, my whiz kid, and other people, Jessica, they all came in to help us do the data. So basically, we had a big Excel sheet that captured all the polling stations, electoral areas, constituencies, and then the regions.
Okay.
And so we tabulated everything through the Excel. And then we use different systems. If you remember, when we captured data on COVID-19, we had a replica of the Johns Hopkins dashboard. That we did with ArcGeospatial of the Johns Hopkins dashboard. That we did with ArcGeospatial Ghana Limited. It's one of the biggest geospatial companies in West Africa. So they helped us get the shape files of the maps. And then during the elections, they also produced the shape files for us, which we then use simple technologies to populate. So you've seen other people using all sorts of things. This is really quite simple. So for example, this map you see is used with a system called Data Wrapper. It's an online tool you can use to visualize things.
Okay.
And then there's also Flourish, which helps you to visualize things. And there's the good old WordPress. So we are capturing elections, but at no cost, because you need to get the people the value and also give the business the value of not wasting money.
Acute Geospatial, thank you very much indeed. So when people go to citynewsroom.com, what will they see? And then we'll work our way around. So what is this?
So this thing you see is a Flourish chart which shows you the 12 presidential candidates and the votes they got.
Okay.
Now, because there are 12, if you want to just move through.
So this is in order of the appearance on the ballot box?
Initially, it was in order of appearance, but now it's in rank.
Okay, so now in order of votes received.
So if we start from the bottom, you realize that domestication has been domesticated at the bottom, right? And then you look at the 3 women. Bridget Akosua-Jogbenuku is the leading female candidate, followed by Nana Akufo-Addo and Akua Donko. Then you come to Hassan Ayariga, Kofi Akpaloo, Alfred Kwame Walker, the independent candidate. PNC's Apasera is there. Kobna Green Street.
What confused me was that he was number 4 on the ballot.
Yes,
and he's number 4 in the rank.
He has shocked himself because he was shocking Ghana to number 1.
Green Street is a big man.
So he's still at number 4.
Okay.
Christian Kobna Andrews was at number 3 on the ballot. He's at number 3.
So these are the numbers declared by the Electoral Commission?
Yes, these are the numbers declared. So this in red is 6.73 million for Nanado.
So the number on top is the number of votes obtained.
And the number below is the percentage.
As calculated by the Electoral Commission?
As calculated by the Electoral Commission.
Good. So let's move on. Now, there are people who like to see things in relative terms. So what is this you've put here?
So the key candidates are Nana Akufo-Addo and John Mahama. So even though we've given you the flow chart for the 12, we just summarize the one for the key candidates so that it will pop up for you. So this blue side has Nanado and has indicated winner on top of him. He got 6.73 million. 51.30% of the votes, and John Mahama is here on the green side with 6.21 million, 47.36% in the total number of votes.
But there's another chart below. What does that chart show?
Now this chart here shows you the regional breakdown
of number of votes obtained.
We used to have 10 regions. Now we have 16 regions.
So this is a comparative bar chart.
Comparative bar chart. So at the bottom of the chart is the number of votes obtained on each side, and then the various region votes.
So if I collapse all of these, it will form this. If I collapse all of these, it will...
Yes, those who missed the show yesterday, we gave you an idea of an assignment for your children.
Yes.
Print this on a big sheet of paper and tell them to cut the bars and join them. Realize that if you join all these, it's going to give you the same
length as the bottom bar.
If you join all these, it's going to give you the same
So
length.
the one with the longer bar is the one who won?
Yes.
So the bars look fairly equal. It means that it was a slim margin.
It means that it was a slim margin.
What else will this show you? So what does it say to you? That which region had the most votes? Where did it party get what?
So the regions with the smaller bars will tell you the populations were smaller, the voter numbers were smaller. Okay. The regions with the bigger bars show you the populations were bigger and the voter numbers were bigger. Now, if you look at any region, for example, Ashanti, the longer the bar to one side, it means the person won. So the blue bar on the Ashanti side is longer, 1.75 million. The green bar is shorter. So it definitely tells you Ashanti, the blues won. So it runs through. If you see any bar longer on the other side than the other side, it means that whoever has the longer bar won.
So this is fairly easy to follow.
For those who cannot read numbers and interpret numbers, can just look at the length of the bars.
Some people prefer the map of Ghana because you've arranged these 16 bars and you've named them on regional basis in alphabetical order. Some people like to see this in a visualized Ghana map form. Where would they find that? Is that possible?
Let's go down to the Ghana map. Right, so this is the Ghana map with the 16 regions.
So this is the regional breakdown map.
Yes, color coded according to the party. So NPP is blue, NDC is green.
Regional results breakdown map for region. Total votes obtained for region. We have 16 regions. So you have they got more votes in those regions than this. Doesn't show degree of win. It just shows simple win.
It can actually show you a bit of the degree if you click on it like this.
Okay.
Then it gives you the numbers.
The breakdown.
Yes, the absolute numbers and then the percentages, and it also compares with the 2016 figures.
So this is
that you
clickable.
appreciate. Yes.
So you click on the regional map, and it tells you the figures for that region for the two candidates.
So when you use a tablet, you click on it. When you use a phone, you click on it. When you use a computer, when your mouse hovers on it, it will show you the numbers. And if you want the number to stay, you click on it. And
so
then
it shows numbers and percentages.
Yes.
For this election and also a previous election.
So that people can compare and make meaning of the numbers.
So for example, if you look at this Bono, this shows you that the Bono map for Nanado and John Mahama look relatively the same.
Yeah, 58% for this year.
No, actually, it's interesting. So the blue for Nanado for 2016 looks much longer than the blue in the Bono.
Because the other parties got some votes there. So Mahama, even though he placed second, the other parties took a chunk of the percentage away.
Okay.
So if you look at the bars, this is 59-58, right? But this bar, 37-40.
Okay.
The relative numbers are different.
I get it.
If you compare
now, we counted the NPP blue. So if you want to know how many regions
for
NDC won.
Let's start from the top.
Yes.
There is Upper East.
1.
There is Upper West.
2.
There is Northern.
3.
There is Savannah.
4.
There is Bono East.
5.
There is Oti.
6.
There is Volta.
7.
Western North.
8.
And Greater Accra.
9. So 9 regions for NDC. This is interesting. So this is a simple graphical depiction or pictorial depiction of what you just explained up there. But there are two maps here. What's this one?
So there is the presidential map for constituencies and the presidential regional map.
Okay.
Sometimes people want to also compare, even though, let's say, NDC won Savannah. Did they win all the constituencies?
Okay.
So Savannah region is largely shaded.
So it doesn't give you a fuller picture. This is a generalized picture.
That's NDC won the most votes in Savannah.
But if you drill down to constituencies,
then you see that even though they won the most votes for Savannah, in some of the constituencies in Savannah, NPP might have won.
Which is why you have the constituency map. So this map has 275 constituencies fitted in.
Yeah.
But I see a white patch. Because I know blue for NPP, green for NDC, but there's a white patch in the map.
Now, this white patch is Savelugu.
Okay.
We do not have the results for Savelugu.
EC did not include that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 274 constituencies fully colored.
Yeah.
These are the results we know for these constituencies. Now, you also added up your constituency numbers from all our people on the constituencies. And you got the same figure here?
Yeah.
Now, before we came on air, the CODEO, the Coalition of National Domestic Election Observers, held what they call their PVT, or Parallel Voter Tabulation Press Conference, addressed by Dr. Kojo Asante and Sheikh Arimaya. And their major point was that their voter coalition, based on the results they received from their agents, largely agrees with what the Electoral Commission put out. So which is really an important point, because as I said, there are 2 units of analysis. The constituency results are what we got and added, which I believe is what the CDD did as well. But when the constituency results are finished, you take them to the regional collation center. Then the region produces another sheet which includes the presidential results for the whole region. So those results are 16 in all. Those 16 were added up by Mrs. Jean Mensah, and the results were announced. So you can either decide to add 275 pink sheets or 16 regional sheets. You may even be ambitious and say, okay, let me take the 38,900 polling station sheets and add them. You must have a lot of time on your hands and a lot of people. So we added the 274.
Yeah, so far 274. Savelugu is outstanding.
Great. And then we added the regional for the regional map, and it's largely similar.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Now, I wanted to just see something. So, whereas Northeast is blue in your regional map, can you show me the constituency behavior for the voting in Northeast, just to give a sense of the nuance? So it's not as if the whole of Northeast voted for MPP, but it's more detailed than that.
So if you look at Northeast, this is the Northeast region, blue, and we have Yagaba, Kubori, Waliwali, Nalerigu, Gambaga, Bumprugu, Yonyo, and Tripoli.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
So when you color Bumprugu blue, green, what does it mean?
Because the constituency votes for presidential, NDC won Bumprugu majority.
So that's why you
votes.
colored it green.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Nalerigu, Gambaga, NDC won the presidential and won the parliamentary as well, even though the regional minister contested.
So you also have that as green?
Yes.
Wale Wale was won by MPP.
MPP, that is Baumia's hometown.
Yes. So all this is presidential.
Yeah.
Do you have a map, and I won't go there now, do you have a map that compares presidential results for constituencies to parliamentary results for constituencies?
There is a map that
you can compare that.
There's a map.
We'll go there very shortly. So you're saying Northeast is blue, but it's more detailed. It's 4
against 2.
But you made
the general tally of the absolute votes.
Good. It's an important
for
point.
Example,
so it's not because there are 4 constituencies won. It's because when you add the total number of votes, the majority of votes was blue for MPP.
So for example, and I'm not going to give you the absolute numbers. Let's say Nalerigu has 1,000 votes, Pumpurugu has 1,000 votes, Yunyo has 1,000 votes, Triponi has 1,000 votes. 4,000. And you come to Wale Wale, and Wale Wale has 2,500 votes, 2,500 votes, 5,000.
5,000.
So that is more than the 4,000. So NDC won Triponi, Pumpurugu, Yunyo, Nalerigu, but Yagaba Kubori's votes and the absolute tally put NPP
This is a very important point Kojo is making. So the color assigned to the region depends on the majority of votes which party won. The constituency breakdown just tells you which constituencies were won, but because our constituencies don't have the same populations, it's important to have that distinction. I think it's a brilliant one.
Now, and to buttress on that a bit more, let me take you here for people to get a better understanding.
Northeast.
Now, if you look at Northeast, where is Northeast? Northeast region, 122,742 for
MPP.
112,000 for Nanado. Now, this region alone, if you put these two figures together, right?
Yes.
You're looking at 240,000. That is 6 constituencies, but 2 constituencies in Greater Accra, those numbers can even be higher than these. So, at the constituency level, a party can win the presidential, but another constituency in the same region could have more votes, which will make the party win the regional overall.
That's
count.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So the color assigned to the region is based on the majority of votes obtained, not the constituencies won. We'll come to parliamentary, where it's a different conversation. When we show you the parliamentary regional versus the parliamentary constituency, there we are assigning the color to the region on the basis of number of constituencies won, not the total votes the parliamentarians obtained. These are very important distinctions, but very interesting as well. So, Kojo, 274 constituencies. There's an interesting trend you see, right? If you go to 2016, 2012, because in the past, when you showed me a constituency national election map, green was all over the north and the southeast, and then blue was in the middle to the southwest.
Yeah.
So essentially, all this was green, and this was blue, and there was a bit of a red.
Yeah.
But there's some interesting thing going on here.
Okay, let's see if we can go down and look at those charts before we come way back up, right? So
you want to show 2016?
Yes.
Well, you have to go way down.
Yes, way down.
Way down.
Because
we may not have time to do that. You wanted to prove that?
Here.
Okay, here you go.
It's here. I just want you to see.
Okay.
Right. Now, this is
regional. You want
this, now, this is the parliamentary.
You want constituency.
And then presidential.
Fantastic.
Right.
So this is 2012, this is 2016.
Yes. So you see, if you go up, you see that northern region, we are seeing a lot of blues.
Yes.
Right, for the presidential. And here, 2016, there were greens, right? So 2012 had a lot of blues here. Now, a lot of greens here. Now we are seeing a lot of blues here. And 2016 has showed us that the northern region may not exactly have been 100% NDC stronghold.
In fact, when we go to the parliamentary breakdown for the northern region, you see some very interesting things are happening there. In fact, the margins suggest that that region is becoming closer than originally seen.
Yeah.
But we won't get ahead of ourselves. So far, you said a few things. When we go on the website, we'll see the presidential result as put out by the EC, but we'll also see our map as finished by 274 constituencies, except Savelugu, for presidential.
Yeah.
We'll have a regional map, and we'll also have a constituency map. So far, so good. What's the next thing we see when we go on the website as we move down?
Now, we've not discussed parliamentary yet, so maybe I would have to skip this, and then we go to the absolute parliamentaries before we come and compare presidential and parliamentary according to constituencies.
Yes, please.
So let's look at the election trends, since we are talking about the regions and how it's been.
So this is the thing you use to make numerical and trend sense of what we've just
seen.
Brilliant.
Now,
so this is Ghana historical presidential election trends.
Yes.
Based on who won and how much they got.
Yes. So in 92 NDC won, 96 NDC won, 2000 NPP won, 2000 runoff NPP won, 2004 NPP won, 2008 NPP won the first round, second round NDC won, 2012 NDC won, 2016 NPP won, 2020 NPP has won, right? So this is how the whole thing is looking.
So this is like, you can call it a histogram,
yes,
a line chart histogram comparing performance over, how many years is this? 28 years?
Yes, 96 to 2020.
So that's 24 years.
Yeah.
And this is over how many electoral cycles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 elections. All right. Now, this is interesting. When you go back to ranks, you just want who won.
Who won.
So you have 3 eras. So you have the era
first.
So this is the Kufuor era.
Yes.
This is the Mills Mahama era.
And Akufo-Addo era.
Okay. It's interesting, right? So the Mills Mahama era is 2 elections.
Yes.
Kufuor era is 2 elections.
Yes. And then 92, 96, the Rawlings era, 2 elections.
So this is the Rawlings era. This is the Kufuor era. This is the Mills Mahama era. And this is the Akufo-Addo era.
So in all this, Rawlings won 2 elections on his own. Kufuor won 2 elections on his own. Even though NDC won 2008, 2012.
2 different men won the elections. So Mills and Mahama.
Yes. That's and the Akufo-Addo has returned to the Rawlings winning on his own, Kufuor winning on his own, and Akufo-Addo winning 2 elections on his own.
Very
so if you look at the votes, we are seeing the chart going up and up and up and up. All right. Now, let's just do 2016, 2020.
Okay.
This was how 2016 was. 5.7, 4.7. Right?
About,
the gap was quite wide.
It was 900,000 voter difference.
Yes, the gap was quite wide. Now come to 2020.
Ooh.
Now looking at 6.7, 6.2, 500,000 voters.
So
the
Mahama
gap
has
has been closed.
The lead and Akufo-Addo had over him a year ago.
Yeah.
An election ago. So there's some meeting of minds here.
Yeah.
Very interesting. You notice that as we move from 2008, it gets thinner. It's only 2016 that was a bit big.
Yeah.
The margin gets thinner. I think I understand. This is beautiful. Okay. Kojo, so far, you've made a lot of sense to me. There's something else I wanted to show. If you could show me the regional behavior in this form.
Okay.
Because you show me a map, you've shown me a bar chart, but I want to know which region is moving where in terms of not in terms of who they are voting for.
Yes, good. Yes. But before we do that, maybe if we look at the voter registration and turnout trends, it will also give us a reason why we came to where we are. Because if you remember very well, we said that in a year where turnout is low, the incumbent may lose. Right? In a year where turnout is low, the incumbent may lose.
So let's put it this way. Incumbent losses coincide with lower turnouts.
Good. So let's look at turnout here.
Yes.
In the year 2000, turnout was 61%. What happened?
The incumbent party lost to Kufuor.
That was NDC.
Good.
2004, highest turnout ever, 85%. What happened?
The incumbent Kufuor retained power. He won.
2008, what happened? Turnout dropped to 70%.
The incumbent party led by Akufo-Addo lost to Mills, who was the challenger.
Now, 2012, turnout was up 79%.
The incumbent party led by Mahama beat the challenger, Nana Akufo-Addo.
2016, turnout dropped. What happened?
It dropped to 68%.
Yeah.
The incumbent party led by Mahama lost to the challenger, Nana Akufo-Addo.
And 2020, turnout goes to 79%. What has happened?
The incumbent party led by Akufo-Addo has beat the challenger.
Look at 2012 and 2020, 79-79.
Wow.
And there was a change. So let me put it, 79-79, and there was a maintenance.
Very interesting. So the turnout for this election, similar to the turnout for 2012 election.
So Mahama retained for NDC in 2012. Akufo-Addo has retained for NPP in 2020.
And the percentage Mahama got in 2012 is pretty similar to what Nana Akufo-Addo got in this election.
The turnout then was 79.
Wow.
In 2012. And turnout in 2020, as has been announced.
What was the percentage for Mahama in 2012? I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Yes, we can.
It's very similar. No, don't worry. We don't have to complicate things. It's fine. People can discover. If you tell them everything, they will not go onto the site. So far, we're just trying to help you appreciate everything that's going on. This is 97.3 Citi FM, the Election Bureau, and of course, Citi TV. My name is Bernard Avele. I'm here with Kojo Boateng. Now, we just also want to show we saw a map. Could you show the 2012 map and said that map looked much green. Now it's patches of blue all over the north. What does that mean in terms of a trend? So here we are with what we call the historical presidential election trends. I want you to start from the northern region, because that's where
to go to the northern region first.
That's what's of interest to a lot of people, because we're seeing a lot of blue colors in the north. What's happening in the northern region in terms of voter trends?
So in the northern region, in 96, NDC won with 55.7% of the votes. NPP got 39.8% of the votes. In the year 2000, NDC won again, 50.8% of the votes, and then NPP got 34.3%. They all dropped in percentages because there was a PNC and the other factors that took some of the votes. Now 2004, NDC goes to 61.1% of the votes. NPP increases to 35.6% of the votes. So there was quite a gap, right? 2008, NDC won by 58.4%. Look at what NPP is doing. So from 2000 onwards, NPP has been climbing in the north, so 38.1.
Let's make it easy for people. So you have we'll call it's a 20-point game.
Mm-hmm.
What it means, a 20-point difference.
Yeah.
For us, go back in 2004, 61-35, it's 25% game, right? So the 25% game has become a 20% game.
Yeah. Then you go to 2012, 56.8, 38.8.
Continues as a 20-point game. So it's still the same level of difference.
But technically, you are looking more around 19-point game because there's a slight gain.
Don't worry, it's 100, so 20 is fine. Let's just keep it that way. 2016,
then 2016, it closes further.
56-41. So a 20-point game becomes a 15-point game.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is happening.
Yes, click on 2020.
What happened here? Jeez. It's an 8-point game.
Yeah.
So you want to make sense of the map he shows you. You want to make sense of the blue, green.
Yeah, so even though the original map shows green, if you look at the constituency map, there were a lot of constituencies that the NPP won in the north, which shows you a lot of blue spots in the northern region.
So if you want to understand the north in 26 years, and this is very important, this is the northern region outside northeast and Savannah.
Yeah.
So what we've done is that we've disaggregated results for the northern region, because even though the northeast Savannah dichotomy came only 2 years ago, we have results from previous elections in the constituencies that make up those regions. So we can pull out northeast for you right now. We can pull out Savannah for you right now to show you what's happening. And you aggregate all, you can have a northern picture. So whilst we're at it, what is northeast region doing?
Yes.
And then we'll do Savannah before we come to Greater Accra.
Northeast, 96, 75% for NDC, 12.4% for NPP. So if you even compare northeast and northern,
so this is over 60%.
Yes, yes. So in 96, northeast gave more votes to the NDC compared to the northern region.
I know.
Right. Now you come to the year 2000.
It's still a big gap, although the PNC takes a bit of this.
Yeah.
So NDC comes down.
And then we go to 2004.
This is very close.
Mm-hmm.
It's 32.
43, 32.
So that's about 11%.
Yeah. Now 2008.
It opens up actually 13%.
Yeah, 13%.
No, hold on, it's bigger than 13. 35, 45, 10 plus 8. It's big. This is 18%.
Good.
This is 18%.
Now 2012.
Yeah, go back. I want to show something. So we're saying that in 96, go to 96. 96, the reason was, this is 96.
Yeah.
Go to 2000. We said it was Edward Mahama. So NDC came to 45.
Yeah.
2004. We don't know why this happened. I don't have the explanation. Because even though Bawumia was brought in 2008, there was no effect. Because actually, you could even say that NDC strengthened his hand relative to 2004 when Bawumia came initially.
You're right.
So he wasn't known.
Yeah.
So there was so you can say this is the pre-Bawumia state.
You know, Bawumia, when he came, he didn't have the firepower. They said, who is this guy?
Yes.
So he didn't really have much of an effect there.
So this is 35 to 45 is 10. 45 to 55 is 20 minus 2, 18%. Now, after one election, let's go back. 35 becomes 44.
And 53 becomes 52.
So it's not so much NDC losing. It's more MPP gaining.
Yes, and in this election, there's no other factor taking away votes like the PNC did in the 2000.
So what started out as a whatever percentage
75% game
is now 7%.
Has dropped to 52, and the 11% has increased to 44.
So we're saying it's a 7% or 8% game. Then 2016, it was actually a dead heat.
Yeah.
Because NPP actually won by 2,000 votes.
So 2016, you take out, this is NDC, right?
48.5.
Then you check out NPP. Let me take out, okay, let me just come back here because it's too close.
Yes.
And take out this and come here. So we are looking
49.
at 49.6.
So 49
right?
and 40.
And this is 48.5. So quite close.
1%.
Yeah.
And now you have MPP is 51 and this is 46.
46.
So the overtaking took place in 2016.
The consolidation has begun.
Let's get into Savannah quickly because we have to move fast. We're just trying to show you the trends in each region. We won't do, or we'll do a few regions. Again, you can go on and play with this and understand what's happening. Savannah region, it's a bit funny. The gap is big, but it's sort of ebbs and flows, right?
Yeah.
So let's move from 2000. So 2000, 57, 31. So that's 17 or 16% gap.
Yeah.
2004, NDC gets 60, MPP 33. So that's big. So they've expanded the gap in the year 2000. Then 2004, 2008, the gap comes down. And this time Mohammed is running mate.
Yeah.
Again, this is his first time on the ballot. So the effect is not that big.
Yeah.
Going to go to 2012. Then so again, same for Bawumia. We start seeing Mohammed's effect in the second electoral cycle.
Yeah, and this time he is the candidate.
Now look at what's happening here. In 2000...
But you can say this.
Yes.
It's almost the same, but NDC dropped slightly, MPP increased slightly.
Yeah, we're talking about in the scheme of changes. What we're saying is that he's managed to hold
his region.
Savannah. He's held Savannah, whereas NDC was unable to hold Northeast.
Yeah.
He's held Savannah. And Northern in total as well. Go back to Northern. So we're showing you Savannah, we're showing you Northern has... Now this is Northeast, I want Northern. So Northern...
You want Northern?
Northern,
okay.
not Savannah, not
This is
Northeast.
Northern.
So we are seeing a narrowing. We're seeing a narrowing. We will not talk about this much because when we get to the parliamentary seats, it will be clearer. Because when it comes to the parliamentary seats, you will notice that the number of seats the MPP is winning is changing there. Let's do Greater Accra.
Okay.
Because Greater Accra is interesting because when Maximus appeared on The Point of View, he predicted, based on his Facebook model, that NDC was going to win Upper East, Upper West, and North, and Volta. And then he said Central, Western, Eastern, and Ashanti would go to MPP. And he also added Greater Accra. But then in the Greater Accra, he qualified it and said NDC would put up a strong performance. He didn't quite say NDC was going to win, but he said MPP was going to win slightly. Well, it's flipped. So he got maybe 9 out of 10 correct.
So this is Greater Accra,
Yes.
if you want to look at everything combined.
Yes. Greater
shape
Accra's behavior.
It's just crisscrosses.
So this is your ultimate swing region.
Yeah, it just crisscrosses.
After every 2 electoral cycles, the Greater Accra decides to change. But now from 2016, it's become every electoral cycle.
Yep.
So this shape is like the presidential shape.
Yeah.
This is the only region which approximates exactly the presidential. You remember this chart it shows you?
Yeah.
This is Greater Accra. In the year 2000, MPP wins. 2004, MPP maintains it. 2008, NDC. 2012, NDC. 2016, MPP. But they've switched.
Yes.
To
so this year,
NDC.
even though NPP has won the general elections, Greater Accra went for the NDC.
So for the first time, Greater Accra has backed the national trend. They have given their mandate to the NDC, but it was slight. We'll come to the margins quickly. Let's just look at Central for those who want to know. Central has always come up as a swing region. What's Central doing in terms of its voter behavior? Wow. So they are with the national.
Yes.
As exactly with the national.
Yes.
They have followed exactly what we've done as a nation. Good. What about Western? Western is one of your fabled swing regions as well.
So let's go to Western, which is about the last on this
Yes.
long chart.
Of course, Western, we had to take our Western North because Western North then changes the conversation.
So this is Western.
Okay. Also a swing region, but the shape is more amorphous.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Because I think we've done enough here. Let's talk about the parliamentary situation. This is your election bureau, 97.3 Citi FM, and also Citi TV. My name is Bernard Avle. We brought you back to the dashboard to summarize what we know and also explain what it means. This is very important. What has happened? What does it mean? What has happened are the facts. What does it mean is the context. Always remember that. So for you to get a full picture of something, you know the facts. The EC announced the results. NDC has said they won't accept the results. These are the facts on the ground. What is the context? We've shown you the presidential charts. We're going to the parliamentary situation, which is a bit more dicey. Because in the parliamentary situation, there's been a lot of change.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is the, well, let's say this is the chamber.
This is 2016.
Yes, this is the parliamentary chamber. This is how it's going to look like. This is how it was in 2016.
Yes.
NPP had 169 seats. NDC had 106 seats.
Good.
So this is 2016. Now let's come to 2020.
What we know so far.
Yes.
The blues are turning green.
Yeah.
And then bring your eye down here. 2016, 169 MPP, 106 NDC. 2020, what's going on?
135 NPP, 135 NDC, so far as we've collated.
One independent.
Yes.
What is this for?
Now, this 4 is the outstanding.
The 4 seats that we cannot confirm have gone to either side.
Yeah.
Good. I'll tell you this 4 shortly. But there's something else here. What is this?
So the red arrow pointing down with the number in red shows what NPP has lost. They had 169. They have 135 now. So they've lost 34 seats.
You are joking. They've lost 34 seats.
Yeah.
33 to NDC, 1 to independent.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the 29 down there doing?
106 for NDC in 2016, 135 for NDC in 2020. It's a green now and it's pointing up. So NDC has gained 29 seats.
This is incredible. 29 seats gained.
Yes. Now independent was 0. Now it's 1. So it's pushing up 1.
So on behalf of the Independent Parties Association, Fomena
yes,
has come back in the news. Over 140 years ago, Fomena was a big city in Ghana. We'll do some history lessons on that. There was a treaty at Fomena.
Yeah.
There was a treaty. Go and read about that treaty. We don't know what is it with Fomena. Every 150 years they do something. In this election, they've become very interesting.
And then there's 4 outstanding.
Now let's tell you about these 4 outstanding. To show you these 4 outstanding, we will go to... Now, the reason I like Kojo's system is that these are just raw numbers, but he contextualizes that with the map. Okay, so let's talk about the 4 outstanding by using the map, the parliamentary constituency map.
Okay.
So let's do a geography lesson. What region is this?
This region is the northern region.
Good. Now, there are 4 constituencies. In fact, for the presidential, when Mrs. Jimensa announced the results, she announced them less Savelugu.
Yeah.
Now, Savelugu parliamentary is also not clear. Let me just give you the context. Today, Dana Ingon spoke on the City Breakfast Show. She's our North Regional correspondent. She said one of the reasons why the presidential results were being held was that the MPP agents were refusing to sign the Savelugu sheet, which was holding up the whole of the North. Yeah. So they were instructed to sign. They were instructed to sign, but they were saying that the MPP did not agree with the figures that the EC had put out. Those figures give Savelugu to NDC's parliamentary candidate. The incumbent parliamentary candidate is MPP, but the NDC candidate, according to the EC, there has won. So, assuming nothing changes, this
Savelugu
is going to be colored
green.
Green. Good. So that then pushes NDC from 135 to 136.
So let's click on Savelugu. As you can see, in 2016, NPP won it with 34.21% of the votes. NDC got 32.31% of the votes. We do not want to put out the 2020 figures because they are still being contested.
What Diana tells me is that, go back there, the reason you have that number, both numbers low, is that there was a independent candidate from this side who affected their votes.
Yeah.
They believe that having taken that independent candidate out, they ought to win it back. But this guy is also a minister of some kind in the region. So it's close, but NDC, as far as we know, were declared winners. It's being disputed. So if nothing changes, if you look at our legal system, it's probably going to head to court, but it's going to be green, right? So that is 136. We haven't put that there because it's still fluid.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the middle of your map, you still have two big white patches.
Yeah, we have this one here, which is the Cine West.
Cine West.
Yeah.
This is Bono East. We spoke to Michael Aholu today. He says Cine West presidential has been declared. Cine West presidential was won slightly by NDC. Cine West parliamentary was not declared because there's one polling station which results have not been added. Now, that polling station, we are told there was somebody, the ballot box was captured. And so there's a dispute as to whether it should be added or has been tampered with. Now, if you look at the results expected from that ballot box, based on the presidential, if you add that, it could tip it. But as of the tally before this ballot box, the NPP was leading slightly. If I'll give you those numbers, just to help you give you some context. The numbers for that particular ballot box. So we're told the NPP has 13,073, 13073. NDC 12956. What's the difference?
That's very, very, very
956. So less than 200, about 100 and something.
Yeah.
Now they're saying that when you look at the parliamentary, the presidential result from that same polling station's presidential ballot, when you add that, NDC expects to win.
Okay.
But the MPP has gone to court to say that because they believe the ballot box has been tampered with, that parliamentary ballot box, I forget the name of the polling station, should not be added to this one. So there's a deadlock.
Okay.
So they haven't declared Cine West, which is why we've left it the way we've left it. Go to the next one.
Now let's go to the next one.
Ooh.
Bono East.
Again, Chachu was there, our reporter. He says, this is interesting. The parliamentary was declared before everybody was aware. So there's actually a video we put on our website where, as the declaration is being made, people rushed to the scene and the military had to separate them. Because apparently NDC said the result being declared were wrong results. Because Ajay Mensah Kosa, who is the MPP candidate, was the one who won that based on the declared result by the EC. But they're saying that the presidential was won by Mahama, and they believe that the results have been tampered with. And the video actually shows the declaration. He held the megaphone as he was declaring. Somebody came to him to snatch the megaphone. Blows were exchanged. The soldiers were trying to stop everything. Gunshots outside with everybody scatter. Yeah. So I'm laughing with, but it's serious. The video, I wish I could show the video. He was holding the megaphone. He was coming to announce the result. About 6 people rushed onto him. The soldiers were trying to separate. And as he was announcing, somebody came with a left hook from the left. I mean, it was mayhem. So Michael had to run for cover. Everybody scattered. But he literally announced Ajay Mensah Kosa as winner.
Yeah.
He did announce it as winner. And this is definitely going to challenge that. So you probably want to say that could turn blue until the challenge is done.
Yeah.
So that means you have 136 NDC, 136 MPP. Then there's one more patch here.
Yes, this patch in here.
Oh, Lord.
Upper Dencha West.
This one, I don't even understand what's going on. We spoke to our Central Regional correspondent. Now, she wasn't there herself. So she said that the person she spoke to, who is head rep there, said the results were being collated until the Minister for, I think it's Transport, and some people went there to stop the whole process. And the process has since stopped. So the results were not finally declared. Now, what she also says was that the information he has is that the NDC tally and the EC tally were the same, but the MPP tally was different. So that disruption has also left us in limbo. So we have Upper Dencha West in limbo. We have Cine West in limbo. We have these two guys in a semi-limbo because it has appears they will give this to MPP and NDC and they will say go to court. So if you do, you have 136, 136,
yeah.
2 outstanding, and then you have 1 independent. Now this is the issue. With a 275-member parliament, you need 138.
Because the mathematics is 137.5, but you cannot divide
a human
being.
being. Now the other thing is that even though the independent candidate can choose whichever side he wants to go, for the record, he does not belong to NDC or MPP.
Yeah.
So even if he decides to vote for MPP, it still doesn't give MPP the majority. And this is a very important point. A lot of people are saying, well, they should give him something to come to MPP. He can vote for MPP, but they need to know who. So the majority party in Parliament, and we are even lucky because in Ghana, we are not in a parliamentary system. In the UK, the majority party in Parliament appoints the government. And that would have had to mean coalitions being formed.
Yeah.
But here we have an executive presidency, he's won, but the minority party. So it's going to be weird if the NDC succeeds, for example, in winning 2 more and gets the majority. It means the majority in parliament is the opposition.
Yes.
And the minority in parliament
in executive,
exactly.
Green in legislature.
Which is where we are. So we are going to be keeping an eye on this situation. The law is very clear as to the challenge process. We have been told 42 days, everything will be cleared up for all these things. So hopefully by January, these 4 issues will be cleared up.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's won the parliamentary election yet, as far as our tally and our information is concerned. So let's just go through this right quickly. You have another map here for
this is showing who owns the regions when it comes to parliamentary seats they've got. So Greater Accra, NPP.
Sorry. Can you go to the parliamentary tally? Okay. I think it's important for people to see what's happening with Parliament by way of tally. Yes.
So this is the tally. NPP has won 4 seats for NPP, 2 for NDC.
Good.
Ashanti region, NPP has won 42 seats for NPP, 4 for NDC, 1 independent.
In 2016, I wish I had that map, but I've told you earlier. This was 43.
In fact, that is on the original map. So when we go, there are comparative figures.
Yes, I don't want to just move since we've kept this here. So there was 3.
Yeah.
And it's now become 4.
Yeah.
Now this was 44. It's become 42 because they lost 1 to NDC and lost 1 to Fomena Independent.
Yeah.
So 44 becomes 42, 3 becomes 4.
Yeah. Bono
6-6
has been split.
Wow.
Bono region has been split. Even though presidential NPP won, parliamentary
6-6.
The seats have been shared.
So NDC made a gain.
Yeah.
In Bono.
Bono East, presidential NDC won, parliamentary NDC has won again.
2-7. 2 to NPP 7.
Yes.
Again, NDC makes gains there.
Yeah. And we don't have Techiman South from the Bono East.
So that means, yes, that means Techiman, it makes it 11.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for Techiman, yes.
Now, where do we go next?
The next region is
so we don't have Techiman South, we don't have Sene West from Bono East.
So 2 more. So if you add the 2 more, that makes
we get to 11. So this is 9. If we add the 2, we get to 11.
11, yes.
Now Central, 10-12.
That's 32. Again, there's 1 left, Upper Dentra West.
No, this is 10-12, so 22. If we add Upper Dentra, we get
23. Yes, I'm saying 23. So you have Upper Dentra West, we don't know where it's going. But this is significant because it was 19-4.
Yeah.
19 has become 10, 4 has become 12. This is the flip Elvis was talking about.
Yeah.
What is this one?
Eastern region. Presidential NPP won, parliamentary, they've won the most seats, 25-8.
I don't think it's changed much. I think 2016 was the same.
25-8. When we get down to the map, we can just compare.
This is the other flip.
The Greater Accra region.
I think it was 2014, it's now become 14-20.
Yeah.
So this is major flip issues. Because if you have 2016 for this?
Yeah, so let's take it from here. Let's take it from here. So that
2016.
So this is Greater Accra.
Yes. Ooh. NDC in 2016 had 13. MPP had 21. NDC has jumped from 13 to 20. NPP has reduced from 21 to 14.
Yeah.
So this is a flip.
This is a flip.
Plus 7 minus 7.
This is a flip. Yeah.
Wow. Proper flip. Your constituency map can show me. Show me the constituency and show me which constituencies are flipping. I wanted to borrow 30 more minutes. I don't know if my producer will be so kind and give me 30 more minutes. I beg. We are on a very important stage. Viewers, please send a petition. We are on 5 minutes to go, but we have gotten to a place. So, Director, I beg you, give me 30 more. Thank you, please. Before they give me a memo. So we're going on. Yes.
Yes. So I was looking
for. Show me Greater Accra.
Yes. I wanted to show you the 2 parliamentary constituency maps for 2016-20, so that it will show you the.
Okay. Yeah. You want to just show me the flips?
Yes. So that we'll just use the map to see
because
what has happened.
If you are looking for the top 3 words for this election, flip is one. The other one is flop. Flip flop. You watch out for Caleb Kuda on the back page. He will do a flip flop edition.
So this is so look at this.
Great.
2012 Greater Accra.
So this is what parliamentary
and 2016.
Good.
You see how Greater Accra was.
Can you expand the Greater Accra for 2016? Okay.
This is 2012, right? Then you come to 2016. Majority blue for Greater Accra.
So Greater Accra is green in 2012. is blue in 2016.
Yes, and you go
which
to...
is why you had the 13, 20...
Yes, thing. And then you come to 2020, Greater Accra is looking green when it comes to parliamentary.
Good.
When it comes to parliamentary, yes. Here we are. We are here.
Okay, let's go. Great. So it's gone back to green.
Yes, so you look at the Tema East area, you come to Lejokuku.
Can you centralize this a bit so I can watch it? Good. So let's keep it this for a minute. The 20 NDC, 14 MPP he showed you is what he's going to explain with these things he's done here.
Yeah.
So let's start from Ada.
Ada was NDC, has been maintained.
No, take it easy.
Okay.
Let's take it easy. We have 30 more minutes.
Okay.
We are not rushing. We're not going anywhere. 30 minutes. Thank you for 30 minutes. So Ada, I'm doing this because I want to just show the trends. Okay. So Ada has not changed.
It's not changed.
So there's no flip there.
There's no flip.
But it's a coastal constituency for using that term.
Yeah.
It's still green.
The MP actually gained more votes.
Let's go there and see. Oh, the MP gained votes.
Yes, he gained votes. 80
to 83. Wow.
Yeah.
So the NDC gained votes for the parliamentary in Ada.
Sege has not changed. 53 last year for NDC, 52 this year.
Let me tell you a slight story about Sege. One of the reasons why the MPP chairman for Sege, the MPP chairman in Greater Accra is the person he is that he's been trying hard to wrest Sege from the NDC, and I think he got the highest margin in that constituency in 2016. And I think they rewarded him by making him a regional chairman. Well, to be fair to them, they've increased from 45 to 47.
That's good.
In Sege, so it's called Divine Akoham. I'm sure you say, look, I'm giving you 2 more %. Find somebody who will give you
the extra
3 because I don't know what else I want to do. So this is Sege. NDC still held Sege, even though MPP closed the gap.
And then we come to Shai Osudoku.
Shai is not a coastal constituency, but Shai Osudoku is one of the constituencies where I'm predicting that in the next decade it's going to become majority urban. It has Dodoa, it has Afienya, it has Atsuchwari. There's a lot of factories going to come up there. A lot of people are moving to those areas. So its character is changing.
And the fact that the rail line is passing through may open up the area.
But NDC held it.
NDC held it.
Even though MPP improves from 21 to 32, NDC got 67. So it's more a question of who is doing what there. The one that fascinates me is Ningo Pram Pram.
Let's go to Ningo
Because Ningo Pram Pram is one of your top 10 voter population gainers in Ghana. So Ningo Pram Pram is urbanizing rapidly. Now, conventional wisdom tells you that when places urbanize, sometimes the voting character changes. Samuel George is having none of that.
Yeah.
He says, whether you all become Accra dwellers,
I'm still going
to win. So 63-35 for NDC in 2016. It's become more urbanized.
Yes.
Look at what Samuel George is doing.
69-28.
Amazing. So essentially saying, whether you all become city dwellers, you are all driving BMW or what, this is for me.
For Jata.
Samuel Jata George. So it's one of the stories of this election.
And look at this, 23,800 to 48,700.
This is incredible. So NDC almost more than double.
Yes.
23 to 48.
Yes. And MPP managed only 5,000 extra votes added to their tally.
So you see why these numbers are important. So the election is not just who won, what's actually happening. So this tells you that the Ningo Pram Pram area population is rapidly growing.
Yeah.
But Samuel George has strength. Another interesting story. The guy Samuel George beat here is called Sylvester Tete.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's doing now?
It's like he's one of the...
He's the MP for Botiano. So he moved. Close this. Let me show you something. So Samuel Tete sat on a plane or a train or he took a ship and he moved from here and he came straight to Botiano and he said, I won't move again.
Okay.
So he was successful in Botiano, whereas he wasn't in Ningo Pram Pram.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to make a quick theory for you. So typically when a place changes from rural to urban, a couple of things happen. You need to look at where the people coming in are from and what they think. My theory is that whereas in Amasaman, because Amasaman used to be green, MPP won it. And I told you that Amasaman is the 3rd largest grower in Ghana. What is my theory? The nature of the migration determines which party becomes better. My view is that in Amasaman, which is very close to Trobu, Dome Kwabinya, which are MPP enclaves, the migration is coming from Eastern and Ashanti. And the 2021 census will prove me correct. Ashayaman and Ningo Pram Pram, the migration is coming from Eastern and Volta. So even though they are getting bigger, it's NDC who's going to gain. So that if you say the larger the population, the more MPP wins is wrong. Is where is the urbanization growing to? So you notice that Botiano, again, NDC used to win it, is close to Ewutu Senya East. So you can tell that the migration there favors MPP. So the migration in Kong Katamanso, Ningo Pram, and Shai Osudoku, and Ashama favor NDC. The migration in Amasaman, Gwejak Bawe, Ewutu Senya East favors MPP. This is a slight issue, but it's a theory. You can prove it. You don't have to fight me. That's what I think. Let's go on.
And 2024 will be even more interesting in Ningo Pram. We did a housing research to look at where the real estate companies are going. And a lot of them are moving to the Ningo Pram area. There's a lot of housing ongoing there, and housing brings in the populations. So it's a funny thing to look at.
They are building houses. They will use Jata cement.
Some Georges.
Yes, you know Jata cement. Do you know who owns Jata cement? I'll tell you later. So we will build houses there and call it Jata estates.
And the other thing, people have complained a lot about the roads in the area, the traffic on the stretch. The fishing communities have had their own fisheries issues. And it will show you in Krowo, Lada,
so you could say that the Ningo Pram is one of the stories of this election. But let's run through Accra quickly, because we're trying to explain NDC's increase from 13 to 20, NPP's reduction from 21 to 14. So the first switch, which made NDC gain a majority, is Tema East. Tema East, Titus Nikwate Glover, he went against Ashai Odampton, former MCE. And Ashai beat him.
So
which is interesting, because this has been very close in the past, but this wasn't even that close.
So 46% for NDC in 2016, 55% for NDC in 2020.
So they've jumped by almost 10%.
Yes, and NPP 52% drops to 43%.
Wow.
And if you look at the figures, the absolute figures, NPP got 31,000 in 2016, 2020, 32,000.
Another thing I'll tell you, so Titus has been going against MCEs. He went against Kempes of Osuwari, MCE under Mills. And he beat him by like three votes. So NDC brought another MCE to beat Titus. So that's the story of Tema East. So go back. The coastal issues, I'm just saying this. So my theory was that apart from Botiano, and if you want to stretch it, Tema West, because Tema West is coastal in the sense that you have Community 2, you have Sakumono Village. So in a sense, Tema West is, but in my view, Tema West is more urbanized, because when you cross the motorway and go to even Ajekojo, you are still in Tema West. So of your typical coastal states in Accra regions, NPP only won Tema West,
this one,
and English Botiano. NDC won Ada, Sege, Ningo Pram, Tema East, and they keep moving. Lejokuku, Okoboy fell to Aiku, Krowo, Minister for
Fisheries.
She lost to Namomo. It was around 2. Because they had gone against the other. Now look at the thing: 47-51, 55-43. It's like two hands of the same.
And it looks like if the NDC wins this time, the gap is wider.
Yes. So yes, and the people who cover the place will tell you that there was a bit of disaffection over fishing issues. Remember, we used a whole fisheries dialogue. Fisheries minister was supposed to solve that. Some people were not happy with the approach of the whole whatever. We don't know. The Jokuku used to be bellwether. 48 NDC, sorry, 48%, 50. Now it's 50-49. Almost 10 in number. Very tight. But NDC took it. So that was Lejokuku. We call it Teshi. Krowo is Nungwa, for those who don't know.
So this is Krowo.
This is Nungwa.
This is Lejokuku.
Teshi. Then Dadekotopon is La. Again, NDC won. Actually, NPP won in 2016.
Yes.
The Deputy Minister of Communication.
50.58%.
Vincent Soadote. And now the NDC's
are you still seeing
former
the trend?
MC has won.
Are you seeing the trend? So NPP wins with 50%, NDC has won with 53%.
Yeah, so when NDC wins is bigger.
Yes.
But when NPP wins is slight. So it means that the default may be NDC, and NPP has to work hard to win it. So that's an interesting observation. Then you go to Klote Kole. This was one that did not change. It was NDC in 2016, is maintained. This is Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rawlings, one of the rising stars of the NDC. Look at this. She strengthens her hand. In fact, this was presidential because she had won the parliamentary.
Yes.
And then she does better this year. Her gap this year is better. Let's get on to Ablekuma Central. It's not coastal. Ablekuma South is coastal. This is Chenche.
Okay, so I've moved to Ododio from Kole Klote and Ablekuma. Wow.
So Neil Antivandapoya, I had him on a show with Neil Bannerman. He said, Bernard, if I don't beat Neil Bannerman by more than 3,000 votes, I'll dash him the constituency. So I just want you to tell me how much he beat him by.
So you want me to go back to the
he promised. He said, Bernard, I'm promising you. I was sitting in this corner. He said, if I don't beat that boy, that's what he said. So if I don't beat that boy by 20,000 votes, Bernard, I will dash him the constituency.
He didn't beat
How
him
much
by
did he beat that boy by?
This is 41,000, 34,000.
Oh, so
let's say 7,000.
Were you just Sheila or you were serious? Because if you said, how much? So let's look at this 36, 26. 10,000.
Yes. 41, 34, about 7,000.
If I don't feel steady. I don't feel steady because Bannerman is coming. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go to Ablekuma South. This is Chenche, former mayor of Accra. What did he do in 2016?
54
to 45. What has he done?
61.
Wow. We should put him on the board of Consolidated Bank.
Because he's consolidating the constituency.
Yes, so I want to put him on the board of Consolidated Bank. Wow. So this is Chenche, former mayor of Accra.
Yeah.
54, now 61.
Yeah.
He beat Bismarck, I think Bernard Brown, I think the name is Brown. 45. So this was Jerry Ahmed Shaibu in the past, now it's Brown. So Ablekuma South doesn't go for MPP. Let's go on.
Where are we going next?
I just want to see the coast.
Okay, so we will come down
So
here.
after Ablekuma South, then you go to Botiano.
Englishy.
Because Ablekuma West, to be fair, Ablekuma West could also be considered coastal if you want to stretch it.
Okay.
Because Ablekuma West is Dansoman, you have Glefe, and then some other areas.
It's here.
What's the name of those places?
This
Shabu,
West.
and then
okay, so this is the coastal part.
I mean, the old part of old Dansoman, part of old Dansoman. So you could tell. I don't know if Mamponse is there or whether it's in Ablekuma Central.
Yeah.
So where's Mamponse? In Poase. Is it on the coast? It's on the coast. So you could also say Esla has a coastal constituency.
Yeah.
But I think the definition of coastal should be having more than maybe 30% of voters in the coast. Then you can strike out Ablekuma West and Tema West. Then the last coastal.
We came to Botiano English.
Now this is interesting. Quick history here. This used to be Weja constituency 2004. Shela Koboche, huge. Broken into three. Anyaso Otuom MPP by a factor of 7-3. Then you have Weja Bawe by a factor of 6-4 MPP. Then you had Botiano, a factor of 55-45, NDC won. Then in 2016, MPP took it, and they took Sly from Ningo Pram to go and consolidate it. So we'll put Sly also on a consolidated board.
Yeah.
So he and Chenche, because he consolidated it for MPP, it was 39, 53.
Now it's 46.
No, he didn't consolidate. No, he actually made the thing serious because NDC actually gained.
Yeah.
So Sly, be careful. So
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
53.09, 53.3, slight gain.
But NDC has gone from 39.5 to 46.7.
Because in this year there was another element, another candidate who took some of the votes. Now that candidate's strength is not there. So
you are saying this is actually the steady state.
Yeah.
So it's a 55-45 game. He won't be on the board. He's not on the consolidated board.
Let's find him another way.
No, he's already on national authorities. Okay. All right. So I think you can lower this now. Again, these things you can play with because it's really going to help you understand the trends. Things like Central region. You know, I wish I could have somebody to discuss Central properly because I don't understand the region that well. I don't know how they flip so easily. It's amazing. In 2012, strong NDC. 2016, NDC get lost.
Sometimes
2020, NDC come back.
When you look at the various demographic data and the various economic data, like poverty rates, this, that, you don't see as much improvement in the Central region as you see in other areas. Really. Like, let's say this gentleman's constituency, where Gisela won. What's the name of the constituency? George Ander's constituency.
Yes.
If you look at the nature of the roads, and to think that they had someone like George Ander as their MP.
I'm telling you.
And things have deteriorated.
Kojo, you know what I'll do?
Past 4 years.
Depending on what happens, I'll do a central program separately. Let's go back to Accra. I want to finish Accra. Because I'll just go back to Accra for me. So I'm trying to, as a journalist, I'm trying to look for stories in Accra. So one story is Samuel George, okay? Samuel George is a great story in Accra. I think Chenche is a nice story. There are two more stories in Accra I find interesting. Medina is a big story.
Yeah.
Then there's also Okaikwe North.
Okay.
So Medina is a big story.
Two stories. Medina, Adenta.
But Adenta is not a story. Because every election they kick out their MP. So Adenta is not a story.
But to kick out the communications director of a ruling party.
Viewers, Adenta is one of the most I want to use a nice adjective. One of the most, they don't respect at all. Adenta. Hey! From Kojo Opari Hammond to, what's the name of the guy? I keep forgetting this guy's name. Then this guy. No, not Ashimo. The guy became Ashimo.
Kojo Edward.
They did it to Kojo, what they call it? Opari Hammond. Did it to Edward Sari. Did it to Ashimo. Did it to Wabian Samoa.
Yeah.
So Ramadan. Ramadan. Let's go through this. So we've done the coastal part of Accra.
You want us to look at Medina?
Yes. Medina was one of the top 10 growers in population size. So Medina and Adenta are now in the top 10 constituencies in terms of size. Now, there was the biggest story in Accra in 2016 was Medina.
Yeah.
Because when Caleb Kuda announced that Boniface had won, and he mentioned the number, I asked him to repeat it 3 times. Because Hamadu Sorogo was a King Kong in Medina.
Yeah.
The NPP brought Boniface to defeat Hamadu Sorogo, and he defeated him very well. Look at what this guy has done to him.
He has also defeated him very, very, very well.
In 1 round.
Yes.
This is incredible.
Look at this. Look at this.
I don't know what's
43% for NDC in 2016. 56.
Can you imagine?
In 2020.
And this is exactly what this guy did to Sorogo. Because NPP was hovering around 40-something.
Yeah.
They went to bring Boniface to give Sorogo a knockout punch.
And NDC actually doubled their number.
Look
from
at it.
31,000 to 62,000. And NPP managed only 6,000 extra votes.
Wow.
31,000 to 62,000.
Francis Xavier Sosu. Wow. So if you're looking for a story in Accra, this is a great one. What happened to Boniface?
Boniface moved from 40,000 to 46,000. So 54% to 42%.
We don't know whether it was the fact. See, I don't know. You know, he was initially minister for Zongo, and I don't want to say anything. But Medina Zongo, we consider ourselves the main Zongo. So people will disagree. Okay, because when I was young, if they say you are going to Zongo,
you're a Zongo with international.
If you say you are going to Zongo, I didn't even know Sabon Zongo. I didn't know anything. Okay, but it looks like migration has created other Zongos better than our Zongo. And then when they took the minister of Zongo away from Ahmad, I don't know what happened.
But he was taken to the vice president's.
No, but that's not a minister. I don't know. We don't have the information. We'll probably do Medina later. But Adenta has all happened in Adenta.
Okay, this is Adenta. I move from.
Okay. Yes, Adenta has never repeated an MP, and that proud record continued, if that can be pride. But some people think that Babian Samoa's job as Director of Communications for MPP and MP in a difficult place like Adenta was not good because
I was in Adenta over the weekend.
Yes.
Right, and I was talking to my friends at the estate.
Yeah.
In fact, I know a contractor who did drainage works behind the Adenta Snit flats, and their roads and everything. They started seeing some rapid development, and the gentlemen were like, "Are they getting us the roads because of the elections?"
So even if you get a road,
and you see the Snitch Flats area, you have the Adenta assembly in there, right? And they had issues. And
even though they saw the road, they didn't vote.
And you see, Adenta, you also go into places like East Amrahia, the Kose area, and all these other areas coming up. So it's a very, very interesting.
You know, Adenta people are interesting. They wanted footbridge. Government gave them footbridge. They said, we won't use it. They wanted road. They gave them road. They said, there's still no vote. I don't know what they want. Let's look at the numbers. 32,033. It was very close. Wow.
63,000, 49,000.
Guys, there's something going on here. You know, I said the population growth favors certain parties. So again, this is a theory. Medina and Adenta's growth is an NDC type growth. Same with Ningo Pram growth. Amasaman Botiano growth is favoring MP because look at it.
32,000 to 63, almost doubling.
Clearly, all those Otinibi areas and things that are growing are going NDC.
Yeah.
At least for this time.
Yeah.
Same for Adenta because Adenta and Medina are adjacent constituencies. So if you look on the map, Medina, Adenta, Ashaiman, Katamanso, Ningo Pram, they are in the same side.
Yeah.
Then Dome Kwabenya, Amasaman, Trobu, Anyasotum. So the left side. So again, if you want to even make it nice, if you take a compass and put it on Greater Accra, 0 to 90 degrees MPP, 90 to 180 NDC. Because this is what you're seeing, right? Yeah. Because when you move towards Kaswa, MPP gets votes, so except Obum.
When you move towards the west side.
You can show that there.
Yes,
just open it up a bit. Open it up
okay.
Open it up for me.
So let's close and start opening.
We want to explain the Greater Accra thing visually. And the region's behavior is very interesting.
So this is Greater Accra.
Yes.
Right. When you move towards the east side, right, it gets greener, right? So, Ashaiman, Ningo Pram Pram, Shai Osude Kusoge, Adan, all these areas are moving towards the eastern part of Accra.
Yes.
It gets greener, right?
So the more you go to the east, the greener it gets.
Yeah.
That means NDC prefers that part. The more you go to the west, NPP gets it.
So this is the west side.
Yes.
With Awutu Senya being the boundary between
Yes.
Central and Greater Accra.
Now keep it there for a while, and just mention the constituencies the NPP won. Just touch them one by one.
Let's start with this.
Amasaman.
Right? Dom Kwabenya. Ayawaso West Wagon.
Ayawaso is not part because it's more inside.
Yeah.
So start from.
Okay.
Start from.
Let me just
start from, because you see, this is how it works. You have Madina. Madina is on the western part of Adenta. So, from Madina Bokobi, you go to Dom Kwabenya.
Okay, so let's start from Dom Kwabenya. So Dom Kwabenya,
strong MPP,
shares a boundary with Adenta and Madina. Good. Dom Kwabenya.
Now it's bordered by Amasaman.
Yes.
Which used to be Trobu Amasaman.
Yeah.
Now a quick history there. When it was Trobu Amasaman, it was 50-50 NDC MPP. Then it was split. When it was split, Trobu was 80-20 NPP. Amasaman was like 70-30 NDC.
Yeah.
In 3 electoral cycles, Amasaman has become MPP.
Now, if you look at 2016, 49.36 for NPP, 49.83 for NDC.
This was the year of breakthrough for MPP.
And then you come to 2020, 57,000 for NPP,
yes.
54,000 for NDC. We'll put the percentages
there.
So
MPP has overtaken NDC in Amasaman. And it agrees with our geographical demarcation theory that, and I think it's because of where the people are coming from.
Okay.
You see, if the people come from, and in fact, if you look, if the people come from Ashanti
and
Eastern,
Agreju people are flowing in.
They bring Eastern region issues here.
Yeah.
And these people bring Volta region issues here. That's the issue going on. So then there's Trouble, which is also there, MPP. Look at the numbers. Very
Trouble. 26,000 for NDC in 2016, 48,000 for NPP 2016. Now come to 2020, 35,000 for NDC, 63,000 for NPP.
Guys, look at that. A jump from
48,000 to 63,000.
Again, Trouble is not the grower, so the migration is favoring MPP. Go to Amasaman again. I wanted to just show something. So Amasaman MPP from 27 to 57. It's like the Samuel George 30,000. It's like the 30,000 game for Francis Xavier.
Yeah.
So this Amasaman guy, I don't know his name. And the other thing about Amasaman is that both parties change their candidates.
But here, the difference is that Samuel George gained.
Yes.
NPP didn't gain as much.
Yes, because the NDC guy is also strong.
Yes.
27
they all gained some.
So the NDC guy doubles. The MPP guy also doubles and a bit.
So if you take out the margin doesn't do anything to what Samuel George gained. Because this is a 200 difference in 2016 and a 3,000
So let me qualify. So Amasaman is still up for the taking for both parties. Amasaman has become like a bellwether type of thing.
We'll see a trend 2024,
yes. So
2028.
Amasaman is there for the taking because if a party doubles from 27 to 50, I mean, this is serious, 30,000 gain. And this is a doubling. It's significant. Then from Amasaman, you go to...
We came to Trouble, so let's go to Anyaso too.
No, before that, go to Domi Abraobom.
Domi
Abraobom is like the last of the Mohicans for NDC. It's been there for them. Okay, it doesn't go. The lady who won, she used to contest in Domi Kwabenya, and she wasn't doing well because Domi Kwabenya demographics didn't favor her. She went there last election and she's taken it. She held it very strongly. This is, even though this place is closer to the eastern region, if you look at the names of the villages there, it's more similar to Bonkatamanso than it is to all
economic
these other
activity,
places.
lifestyle, makeup.
By the way, what's Bonkatamanso doing?
Bonkatamanso moved from 51% for NDC to 55%.
Again, Bonkatamanso was one of the biggest growers in 2020, and the migration has favored NDC.
So 20,000 extra votes.
Even though Afotiabu is no longer there, the NDC guy has continued what they were doing. So Bonkatamanso has also done it. Now go back to so this is the last one where you can when NDC there. It doesn't look like it will change anytime soon. Then you come down to Ewutu East. Okay. Now the reason I've gone there is that this constituency is the biggest in the central region. It's the 8th biggest, no, in fact, it's the 4th biggest in the whole Ghana. Central region. It has characteristics of Accra, but NPP have held it. Okay, I don't know if you can compare the numbers, because NDC's candidate, we thought was going to
numbers are not showing here, but MPP has won this.
And the gap was pretty big. Yeah. Because I think NDC was trying to close that gap. We'll find that information for you. So let's stay in the Greater Accra region. What else is left?
We've not done Anyaso Tum. We've not come to Wejagbawe.
These ones are Lomnava for Anyaso Tum, Israel. You have Pentecost University, Netankwa territory. This is very MPP.
Yeah.
This
54,000 in 2016, 65,000.
Yes.
I was asking them, why are your roads so bad? Why is development not so well coordinated in your area, but you vote NPP? It's the same story shared about Amasaman. People also coming from the Ashanti Eastern regions, when they come, that's home for them.
There's a couple of things I usually do with these Accra things. I have mirror constituencies. My mirror for Domi Kwabenya is Ashaiman. They are number 1 and 2 on the list. Domi Kwabenya is Rajo Asafo. Ashaiman is someone Nogwe. Nogwe. Just I want to see how Ashaiman did. Ernest Nogwe. I want to see how Ashaiman did. Because I remember when I went there to say, "Oh, change your voting behavior. Vote for Barry." What did they do?
They didn't change.
They didn't mind him.
They actually gave the NDC more.
Because I remember some of you have followed Bawumia to Ashaiman says, "You guys, you're voting for NDC. You have to change because we have Alhaji Barry. He's good. Vote for him. Vote for him." What did they do?
58% 2016 to 61 2020.
Oh, so Ernest Nogbe, and Ernest is interesting because he took over from lawyer Agbeshi. And a lot of people say, "Oh, Nogbe, we don't know him. He's not a lawyer." No, when you're a lawyer MP, a lot of people know him because you do cases for people.
Yeah.
Nogbe is more like a procurement guy, but he's very active in Parliament. He takes on very interesting courses. So every now and again, you see him go. In fact, he's written a letter to the EC asking them to show some results. He's that type of person. He's a very activist type of MP. So that's what I say. I prefer activist MPs because MP is not supposed to give you a road. MP is supposed to represent you well.
They are supposed to get the executive to put in place the right policies that will create opportunities for you.
And Nogbe is that type of MP. He uses his knowledge in procurement to really give MPP a lot of hell in Parliament. So that's the reward he got from 58 to 61.
From 52,000 to 73,000.
Wow. He's gained about,
let's say 20,000.
20,000 more.
And NPP gained 10,000.
Not bad. Alhaji Barry, we'll take it like that. Domi Kwabenya, let's see what happened there. I just want to see what Ajwasafo did. Because I'm thinking of the Okwe issue and know whether it affected.
Ajwasafo actually did well, from 63,000 to 75,000.
So Ajwasafo adds 12,000.
Yes, and NDC 29,000 to 52,000.
Hey! NDC Mba. I'm telling you, this is serious. 29 to 52.
Yeah.
So 20 over 20,000 votes. Domi Kwabenya, you know there was this whole schism by people who live in the area that Taifa, Kwabenya get the good treatment, and then the Abokobi, Ablaje people don't get the good treatment. So maybe this is what we're seeing. Go back to that number because it's serious. You see, Ashaiman, the gap has remained for NDC.
Yeah.
But this has closed.
Yeah, it's closing.
This has closed.
It's closing.
This has closed. Let's end with Wejagbawe. And Wejagbawe was one of the most interesting in 2016 because of Tina Mensah versus, what's the name of this lady? Obobia. She got 42.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people think that without Obobia, NDC can't win it. And I think they're right. It got back to 40. Tina Mensah strengthened her hand ever so slightly. So Wejagbawe is strong, but it's solid MPP.
Yeah.
Even though NDC does a good job there. Let's end with Botiano. So this is Sly. 39.53, 46.53. NDC has gained. You said Sly hasn't consolidated.
Because 53.3, 53.09. Do the maths.
But he's doubled the MPP's vote though.
Yeah.
26 to...
And the NDC's vote has also doubled.
Then we'll take it like that. Everybody take it like that. All right, so let's summarize what we have Greater Accra region. I thought it would be nice to do something else. If you have time, we'll do it. We would do, I won't do Central today. I want them to go on the map. What I wanted to do was, I wanted to ask you, do you have a presidential parliamentary comparison map?
I think we do have a presidential parliamentary comparison map. So
because I think one of the biggest stories of this election has been skirt and blouse.
So this is parliamentary, this is presidential.
Good. So viewers and listeners of the Election Bureau, we will find this is the last how many minutes? Last 20 minutes. We're going to just do. Okay, fine. After 30 minutes, no problem. I know this may sound. Well, this is not rehearsed or anything. I just wanted to show a couple of things so you can do a job and say, okay, study the presidential and the parliamentary map closely, and note 3 or 4 differences or similarities. Okay, this is constituency, right?
Yeah.
This is constituency map. Do you have regional presidential parliamentary comparison?
Regional, presidential, parliamentary. Yeah, we do have that.
So you have the regional, presidential, regional, parliamentary. Just compare.
So
I don't think you have it.
No. So what do you mean? So this is
16 regions. 16 regions.
No.
So just okay.
So this is
I want the viewers to look at this a bit closely, and then we'll talk about what's happening here. All right. So I've always said that you need to look at the margins between the candidates and their parliamentarians. Mm-hmm. Okay. So NDC's candidate seems to get more votes than his MPs. Mm-hmm. I think that will change this year. This is the first year that NDC parliamentary candidates may get more than their presidential candidate. Because Nanado's gap, his margin over his parliamentary candidate is not that much. Because of the issues we discussed in terms of the type of regions he gets his votes from. But Mahama always gets a lot more votes than his parliamentary candidates. But this year, he's getting about 29 seats that they didn't have.
Yeah.
That suggests to you that his parliamentarians are doing much better than they've ever done relative to him. You can change it and say Nanado did much better than his MPs than he's ever done. And I'm sure when those numbers are out, people will see that Nanado's gap over his MPs is very small. But this year, he extended his gap over his MPs. Now, Akwetia, I was in Akwetia a week to the elections. Show me Akwetia presidential.
Akwetia presidential.
And then show me Akwetia parliamentary. I know it's a difficult ask. But I want to show you something. I think there's a story here in terms of this map. The story is a story of skirt and blouse. Or the people who went to school call it vote splitting. We like skirt and blouse. Vote splitting sounds one way. They say skirt and vote splitting. Show me Akwetia. I was in Akwetia on the Thursday before the election, and the places I went, people said to me, they like Nana because he gave them free SHS. Parliamentarian, who will you vote for? I can't tell you. Why can't you tell me? Omwebu Amase Ekwasia. Who is Amase? Amase is our MPP candidate. What has she done? She gave her rose. She talks to us well. Who is the MPP candidate? And there's Kumi. Kumi, we don't know him very well. So who will you vote for? I can't tell you. You can't tell me. It's 1 week to election. You can't tell me. You know, you don't want to tell me. So when I came back, I told the newsroom that Akwetia, MPP, NDC, parliamentary is going to be interesting. What happened?
Interesting stuff happened. So Akwetia, this is parliamentary. Mm-hmm. Yes, Akwetia, this is parliamentary. This is presidential.
Good.
Right. Presidential, NPP got 56.9%.
And NDC got
42.32%.
What did they do in 2016?
2016, NDC got 42.29%, and then NPP got 56.93%.
Which means Akwetia people, this is the way they vote for president.
Yeah.
Because you see, 15,000 to 16,000, 21,000, 21,000. So it's like the split is that way for president.
Yeah.
What happened to Parliament?
Now, Parliament, in 2016, when Nanado was getting 56.9%, Amase was getting 57.21%.
And this got 42.4.
Yes, so 42.4.
So Amase did better than Nanado in 2016.
Yes, when you look
at
the percentage terms, but when you look at the absolute figure term, Nanado got 21,436. Amase got 21,433.
Yes.
3 votes difference.
No problem.
Yeah.
What happened in 2020 parliamentary?
Now, 2020 parliamentary, this is
Henry Wachiyadom, a.k.a. Siru, a.k.a. Okoyo. I went there, that's what they told me.
Now, Henry does 51.5%.
John Mahama is doing what?
42.32%.
And Henry is doing
51.5%.
In terms of votes, John is doing
16,181.
John is doing Henry
19,899.
3,000 more votes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nana gets 21,000 votes.
the parliamentarian gets 18,000.
And Eskumi?
Yeah.
So that's a story right there. Young journalists, this is how you generate stories. Okay? This is a story. A trend has been backed. You can do a good story from this. Now, this is not the only place. Go to German North and South. You know German. You are from BA. German North and South. One of them did something interesting for presidential and parliamentary. German North, German South. Good. What's happening there?
German South.
Good.
Now, if you look at German South, 2016, John Mahama got 32%, Nana Akufo-Addo got 66%.
Good.
If you look at 2016 German South Parliamentary, the candidate got 33% for NDC, NPP got 64%.
So the 2016 presidential and parliamentary, they mirror each other. There's no problem there.
Yeah.
This is the way they behave. 2020, what happened?
2020, John Mahama 35.7% for presidential. The NDC candidate got 51.7%.
Can you repeat that?
35.7 for presidential NDC, 51.7 for parliamentary NDC.
So what happened to German South?
It's been flipped.
NDC took the parliamentary.
Yeah.
Why did he take it? We can get there. We are told that the name, I'm trying to get the name of the person for you, but there was an interesting issue there as well. It was initially won by NDC, and then MPP came to win it, but then there was a lot of expectation on the NPP candidate. He apparently didn't deliver. They brought back the former NDC guy.
And he's been reclaimed.
He's been reclaimed. So that's what happened to German South. There's also Doma West.
Doma West also in the Bono region.
In fact, there's even Banda as well. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of this this flip thing, this sort of...
Doma West here and Doma West here.
What's going on there?
Now, Doma West is interesting. So in 2016, NPP won the parliamentary 50.88%. Now 2016, NDC has won it 53.76%. Right. Now 2016, presidential, NDC won 52%. So it was a skirt and blouse here, if you look at it, right? But it's been restored to normal. NDC has won presidential in Doma West this year and has won parliamentary.
Show me Banda. Show me Banda. It's in the same area. I'm just trying to wrap up on the key issues of skirt and blouse. There's a lot of that in the north as well. When we get there, we'll talk about that. Banda was very competitive in the registration. And it looks like Banda is blue and green, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Banda. What's happening there?
Banda, 2016, John Mahama, 49%. The candidate got, parliamentary candidate got 52%.
Wow.
Right. And then Nanado got 49% in Banda. And then the NPP candidate got 47%. But 2020, Nanado won presidential 51%. And NDC won parliamentary with 50%. So it's a skirt and a blouse.
And for the ones we've shown so far, it looks like Nanado is benefiting, or John Mahama's parliamentarians, NDC parliamentarians are benefiting. We understand there's a few of that in the north as well. So let's see what we can find just by looking at the map. Okay, so you look at the places like Tolon in the north, Karaga. Let's see what's going on. Mion. Yes, so let's do Karaga first. Karaga. So what's happening in Karaga?
Blue presidential, green parliamentary.
That's interesting. So this is 2020.
Yeah.
MPP wins the presidential.
Yeah.
NDC wins the parliamentary.
Yeah.
So Nana is benefiting from skirt and blouse. What about Mion? Let me just see what's happening to Mion. I'm not sure, but just what's happening there?
So Mion, if you look at it very well, Nana got 51% of the presidential parliamentary to the end.
So Parliament has flipped. MPP has flipped Mion.
It's not been flipped.
It's not been flipped yet.
It's green. It's blue.
Okay, so it's been maintained.
It's blue.
Mion hasn't changed. Yeah. Okay, let's show me Savannah region. There were a couple of stories there, and also in the northeast region. Savannah region has 7 parliamentary seats, and NDC used to have 1. So MPP used to have 1. Now they have 3. So it's now 4-3 in Savannah on parliamentary side. But I think presidential still did it for Mahama. So there was an opposite skirt and blouse.
Yeah, so Savannah presidential, Mahama won 55%. And then Abu Jinapo won parliamentary 54%.
Let's let this sink in a bit. So this is Mahama's home constituency.
Yeah.
This is Abu Jinapo, MPP parliamentarian. Now, he beats Gallus, but his people vote for Mahama.
Yeah.
So Mahama also benefits from skirt and blouse.
Yeah.
In Damongo. Look at it. Show me the margins.
The margin is interesting. So Mahama got 55% for presidential. Nanado got 43%. And in parliamentary, it's swapped. So 54% for Abu Jinapo, 44% for Adam Mutawakilu. So you are seeing this 43 cross here, add 1 to it. This 54 crosses down to Mahama, add 1 to it.
Very interesting. Let's go to Northeast. Northeast has a few stories like this. So you're saying that the skirt and blouse is not only favoring Nanado. Mahama also benefit from some skirt and blouse. Northeast has just 6 constituencies. I want to just see how the parliamentary and presidential behave to see if there's any other stories there. So you have Northeast is interesting. So on the let's do Wale Wale first. Wale Wale, no difference.
Yeah.
MPP. MPP. Naliru Gambaga. Same. No skirt and blouse issues there. Bumprubu. No skirt and blouse issues there. Yuyu. Yuyu has a story. What's the Yuyu story?
Yuyu NPP parliamentary 56%. NDC presidential. Okay, let me. So NDC won presidential, yes. NPP won parliamentary.
Good. So what I'm saying is that the skirt and blouse also Mahama benefits.
Yeah.
Because in Unio, he wins the presidential, but his candidate loses the parliamentary.
Yeah.
So MPP wins the parliamentary in Unio, which is the last constituency in the Northeast that you haven't done.
Northeast, there's also Chirponi up here.
Yes.
And we have Chirponi here as well.
So Chirponi is also behaving in a very funny way. What's happening there?
Chirponi parliamentary is NPP, presidential is John Mahama.
Look at the numbers. John Mahama in 2016, 51%, another 47%. This is for president. Now, John Mahama holds Chirponi.
Gets 17,000 votes.
He holds it in terms of president.
Parliamentary candidate gets 12,000, difference of about 5,000.
So then it means that here the NDC candidate loses. He loses.
John Mahama wins.
So skirt and blouse favoring him. The last one is, of course, the one left of Wale Wale. That's what you call, yes, just Yagaba Kubori. I think the Yagaba Kubori is not that significant. Just check it out for me. Yagaba Kubori. Good. What's going on there?
Yagaba is straightforward.
So it's gone to MPP.
Straight.
So Yagaba Kubori has done MPP. So that's
just that Mahama got more votes, absolute numbers, 9,800, and the parliamentary candidate got 9,300. So Mahama got 36%, parliamentary candidate got 34%.
Let's look for Upper West Akim in Eastern. So we're just now running you through some of the stories. Okay, there's so many regions. Upper West Akim in the Eastern region. Upper West Akim in the Eastern region.
Should be right here.
Upper West Akim, we passed through on our way to Akutia. I know Upper West Akim has been NDC for a long time. Okay, I think that's where Salas Mensah was MP, former head of Finance Committee of Parliament. So it's an NDC place. They don't joke with it. What's going on there?
It's blue and green.
Wow.
Blue and green. So parliamentary is blue, presidential is green.
So this is their usual voting, NDC. But MPP put somebody there who won it. Now, NDC will say to you that our answer to Upper West Akim is called Ayensuano, which is a neighboring constituency. Look at what happened in Ayensuano.
Just right here. And just right here.
Look at Ayensuano. Ayensuano votes Nana, but
votes a different
NDC
candidates or different parties in parliamentary.
There's definitely something going on in this enclave. Upper West Akim, Lower West Akim, Ayensuano, where you have an MPP president, an NDC parliament. Upper West Akim, NDC president, MPP candidate. So skirt and blouse is scattered all over the country. The last story, take me to Hokwe, then we end. Hokwe, last story, Hokwe, Volta region, because that's a big story. Because when you did your chart, for many years in your chart, NPP had no seat in the Volta region.
Yeah.
So again, one of the stories of this election, John Peter Amewu, and again, we interviewed both of them. It's almost as if we knew this was going to be a story. I had Apita Amewu on the phone somewhere. In fact, he was here 2 weeks before. Margaret Kweku came on. She said she was going to beat him by at least 12,000. Well, what happened?
Let's give you the absolute numbers. Nanado got 14,389 for presidential. John Peter Amewu got 26,952. So almost double the number that Nanado got for presidential.
You mean in Hohe, Amewu is bigger than Nanado?
Yes.
No, then I'm not saying it. Please don't take me for treason. Amewu is what? What number is he getting?
26,000.
And Nana is getting what?
14,000.
Hey! What happened?
And Mahama got 33,000.
So Mahama is consistent?
Yeah.
Is Amewu who's the outlier here?
No, wait.
As in Mahama and Nanado behavior doesn't change?
Yes, it doesn't
It's
change.
Amewu, that's the issue. We need to also explain. Again, there was some issue there. So there were 4 communities, Central Kofi, Akbafu, Lolobi, and Lipe, which were to have voted as part of Hohwe. But because of the creation of Oti region and where they found themselves, they were now put in a new district called Guan district. They were made to vote presidential in Guem. Now, people expected them to vote in Hohwe. Now, they didn't vote parliamentary because once there's a new district called Guem, you need a new district called Guan, you need a new constituency. Now, what happened? They didn't vote parliamentary because they are waiting for their own seat. Now, conventional wisdom says Margaret Kweku is from one of those 4 South places. So you expect her to get a lot more votes from there. Amewu is from Hohwe and Plitoji. So essentially, NDC's candidate could not pull. In fact, some of her votes
from her stronghold. And if you look at the difference, 26,000, 21,000.
Yes.
It's possible things would have been different if that had not happened.
But we also need to be saying, even without the SAL, Amewu's votes in Hohwe are significant.
He had done a lot of work.
Yes, so we are not trying to downplay his victory. I'm just trying to tell you some of the things that happened. The fact that he was able to get 26,000 votes. I don't know if there's any MPP aspirants in the voter region that got this.
No.
The only other MP who got this aspirant is the Minister for Chieftaincy.
Even look at the percentages, right?
Yeah.
In pure voter region, this is what we see for presidential, usually. 80, 75, 82, 88, thereabouts. But look at what happened, 69. So you said Amewu is bigger than Nanado.
Yes.
But in fact, Nanado is also growing bigger based on this 29%.
Very interesting.
Vote share.
What I wanted to say though was that if you look at MPP aspirants in the voter region, Amewu's 26,000. The only other person that comes close in Volta, Ketu North. Just show me Ketu North. He's been trying to get that seat from the NDC and has not succeeded. But his votes are interesting. Okay, Ketu North. He's called, what do you call it? Jameshi.
So this is the interesting Ketu North. Let's start from here.
President.
Right. Now, presidential, 71% for John Mahama. But parliamentary, look, 53%. He closed it.
Because of
this.
So the NDC, guys, this is voter region, Ketu North. 23,913
to 28,000, difference of 5,000.
Jameshi is bigger than Nanado in Ketu North. Nanado gets 14,300, which in itself is big. Because he jumped from 9,230 to, so he will say, Nana, I've added 5,000 to your votes. Now, James Krucha, you are the MP, Deputy Majority Leader. He held his 25, he moved to 28. Mahama moved from 31 to 36, fairly decent. So the real issue here is this guy. This guy is saying, I want this seat, 15,000, 23,000. He's the Minister for Chieftaincy, and he really wants this seat.
And it's quite close seat, 28,000, 23,000, difference of 5,000.
Guys.
And presidential, 36,000, 14,000.
Let me give you a little theory here. So the NDC in the Volta region, for a long time, their MP for that has come from the largest town there, Joje. And also, he's in fact, Modesa Hiable and Co. Now, the MPP candidate is from Joje. The NDC candidate is from Veta, which is a smaller town. Some of these dynamics play. So he's known in Joje. It's a big town. So they know they are NDC people, but they want to give the thing to their guy.
Give it to their boy.
So that those nuances are there. So this is really serious. 23, 28. And this guy's a deputy minority leader. So he's not a small person, the NDC guy. So it's a huge one to watch. I think we've done enough voter. We've done everything. There's a lot more to do. But again, if we give you all, you won't go to the website. So we want you to go to the website and you'll get, there's a couple of things. citinewsroom.com is the website. The way Kojo has arranged it, presidential, then the numbers are at the bottom. There's parliamentary, historical. You can also even ask questions and play with it. You can click on a region, like the way you did the regional flow. So maybe you're Western North. You want to know, maybe Western North has been strong NDC. What's happening there? Are there any issues there? Who wants a Fury also constituency? Why was it so controversial? You go to the map, you click Sefiri also, it tells you the trend. You go to the chart, it gives you a flow. So for me, let's do Sefiri also for secret because I'm doing this. No, I have like 10 minutes to go Sefiri also because I haven't done anything Western, North, and Western.
But hold on. We are doing parliamentary, right?
Yes.
Why not look at Fomena?
Okay.
Why not look at
yes,
Fomena?
Let's do Fomena. Yes, Fomena. You know, I'm not strong in Ashanti, so now I'm now learning. So you tell me what's happening in Fomena.
So this is Fomena presidential.
Yes.
NPP won in 2016, 79%. 2020 is dropped to 73%. Now, if you look at the parliamentary...
So Nana even drops?
Yes. Percentage-wise, Nana dropped.
But vote-wise against 3,000?
Yes, vote-wise against 3,000.
John Mahama increases votes 4 to 6.
Yes,
but
4
there's
to
not
6.
there's
Yes.
6% to 24. Okay.
Yeah. And this is...
So the story is here.
So the gentleman who got the NPP 72%, right, in Fomena in 2016, he had issues. So he had to go independent.
Yes.
And so many things happened.
NPP said, because he's gone independent, he left the party.
Yes.
So Speaker
And the
Pam
roots,
1 week too.
So many issues
Again,
happened.
we were there.
So
we were
many
there.
issues happened.
Yes.
Now, the NPP's 72% has now dropped to 40%. NDC snatched 9.8%. The rest went to him. So he's now the
So if you add NPP to NDC
and subtract for 100%,
still independent one.
So independent one.
It's Siama or something.
So it's the only red. So we are looking at blue-green. It's the only red sitting comfortably there, right? And you mentioned the Treaty of Fomena.
Yes. Was it between the Ashantis and the Fantis, or was it? It was after some war. I forget now.
We'll learn about it during the heritage.
Someone should text me the Treaty of Fomena. I want to see whether I can contextualize it.
So this is the red zone.
Yes.
And this red zone will have a lot to do and a lot to contribute in Parliament because everybody would want to be friends with this red man.
I think we have to be fair to Western region. Let's do Prestia. Prestia last year, this skirt and blouse. I remember because Babarotin JC in 2016 did much better than Nanado. Okay, in 2016, Babarotin JC, who is the former deputy minister for lands and now minister for tourism, in 2016, I think Mahama won Prestia, but she won parliamentary for NPP. That story has changed. Prestia Honi Valley.
Prestia Honi Valley. Okay.
2016, Mahama 49.8, Nanado 47.5. Okay, Mahama has taken it back with vengeance. 49 goes to 58, Nanado 47 to 38. Again, our regional correspondent predicted this. He said, Bernard, when you look at the issues with mining, when Galamsey was banned, a lot of the economies here depend on that. They already haven't benefited from mining as they want. They are not happy with their roads. Now, Barbara was former deputy minister for mines when she and Amewu and what's his name, Benito, did the anti-Galamsey fight. Some people feel that could have affected her. What happens here?
2020, this is the 2016 parliamentary figures. Barbara got 51%.
Yes.
NDC got 45%.
So she did skirt and blouse then?
Yes. 2020, the NDC has taken
They've
over.
moved back to the
absolute numbers in so that when you click, you get them.
So Prestia
but essentially, Prestia used to be blue in 2016 for parliamentary. It's now green. And that green is the same here for presidential.
Now, let's wrap up. If just walk us through what else they'll see on the platform if they go on. So it's citinewsroom.com/elections. Or is that what it is?
Just go to citinewsroom.com. The
It's
homepage,
there.
everything is there. Because we are prioritizing the electoral data for people to see what's happening.
So we have 4 seats to go. When we get those 4 seats, we'll tell you. But if you go on the website, you see the presidential results there. You see the charts, you see the maps. You can move the maps around, touch and learn things. You need to understand the stories. Pick your constituency and check what's going on. And then, of course, the stories around the 4 constituencies are coming up in the course of the day. We'll let you know as well.
And if you have any feedback for us, you can tweet at us using the Election Bureau. We'll see your feedback and then we will attend to your feedback accordingly. So when you go to the platform, you see this, the 12 candidates and their votes arranged according to number of votes they got. So you know Nanado is first, Henry Latte is last, right? That's Henry Herbert Latte of GCPP. And then you see the main candidates, NPP, NDC, the vote difference and the percentage, the votes they got and the percentage. And then you see the regional breakdowns. You see the constituency breakdowns as well. And you see parliaments as has been envisioned, as has been captured in 2016 and it's growing or shaping up in 2020. And then you see the other maps which you can play with. And so there are absolute figures, and then there are also charts. There's some people who don't have very good eyesight, so when they are using their phone or even a computer, they struggle. But once you see the length of the charts, it gives you an idea of who has won what and who has won where. And also the color coding tells you which place NPP has won and which place NDC has won. So blue is NPP, green is for NDC. And you'll see all these things. And also the historical trends. We are going to put, these ones have not been put on the website yet. You are going to put them up so that you get to see the presidential historical trends, who is winning what percentages and who is not winning what.
So the Treaty of Formina was signed between the British and Ashanti, had something to do with Kofi Kakari and Sir Garnet Wolseley, which later led to the Sagrenti War. Thank you, Caleb Kuda. Caleb Kuda is on back page, Friday, watch it. It's called Flip Flop. Elvis is flipping, and then John Boyd is flip-flopping. It's going to be beautiful. Watch it. It's going to be exciting to help release the tension for the elections. My name is Bernard Avle.
My name is Kojo Agoto-Buate.
This is 97.3 CDFM and Citi TV. This has been your Election Bureau. We'll be with you next time. Bye-bye. That's all. We'll go.